Okay.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the True Blood cast.
I am aging in reverse.
Signing. Hi. I'm supposed to be off camera.
We're live now on YouTube, guys. So I'm just gonna have this conversation. But
you guys can just ignore Steven for a minute. He's talking to himself. Poor Steven's in New York. Sam's in Miami, and we have the ladies of True Blood right here in Los Angeles, California.
Hello.
Say hello to Kristen Bauer and Mariana Clavino, and Tara Buck, and Rutina Wesley, and Deborah Ann Wool. And of course, remotely, Sam Trammell and Stephen Moyer. Hello, everyone.
Hey, guys. Hello, everybody.
Everyone missed my crying, you guys.
It's okay. Yes,
You're not True Blood panel here.
So, is this the first time you guys have actually connected in a while? I mean, the show was so epic. You spent, almost a decade together, seeing each other almost every day, and then to walk away from something like that is really hard. How do you guys stay connected, and is this special to be here in this room together?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Okay.
Kristen and I can go first, I guess.
Yeah, we can go first because I'm crying again. but always, right? Steven?
Always crying.
Always crying.
But we do the podcast where I just talk to all these people and cry. So and Deb keeps the thing on the wheel.
Keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, she keeps us on the right lane.
But yeah, if you don't know about it, it's called Truest Blood. You can find it on any of the platforms. But we've spoken to everyone here and everyone there, and more to come. It's just one of the greatest decisions. Janina Gavankar got us to do it. She set the whole thing up. You know her as Luna from the show. And it just means we get to reconnect with everyone and talk about this wonderful time in our lives that I think really meant so much to all of us.
Yeah.
It's really one of the greatest decisions I never made to do it myself.
And you were so fabulous, Stephen. I mean, that was a hard interview to cut down to the time we had allotted because
that's because Moya never stops talking.
Every second.
But it's also
and he continues
all
to refer to himself in the third person. That's always strange to cut around.
Completely normal.
It gets confusing.
So we're going to talk True Blood for the next 20-30 minutes. And after the True Blood panel, the cast is going to sign personalized autographs for whomever would like one. You can go to streamily.com/True Blood, true-blood, to grab a print before they run out. And each of these actors is also live on their Instagram. So after the YouTube panel, cruise around to the Instagrams and say hello. I guess let's start off with this, Stephen. What was your initial reaction when you read the pilot episode of True Blood?
I had decided, I'll try and do this story as fast as I can. I had decided to sort of stop doing pilots because I was so disenchanted by the whole American pilot system. And I had been fired from a pilot on NBC at a table read, which a whole bunch of everybody on that pilot that I was on got fired. And I went back to the UK and I said to my manager, I'm never going up for anything in America again. I'm done. I'm happy. I've got a nice career in the UK. And she then, like a week later, said, okay, I trust you. I believe you. Whatever you want. There's one pilot you've got to read. They want to see you for it. And it's by Alan Ball. And I said, okay, it's Alan Ball. Of course, I'm going to read that pilot. And I read that pilot and I put myself on tape the next day. I still believe to this day that it's one of the 5 great scripts I've ever read. And there's a couple of reasons for that. It sets up a tonal atmosphere in that 55-minute pilot that sets up a world that I'd never seen before and does it so authentically and so beautifully with comedy, with sadness, with this kind of this world that is so like our own, but completely parallel and different. And I just never experienced anything like it. And I just thought it was wonderful. And when my mum said, "You're going to America to be a vampire," like, I was like, "Yep, I'm going to go and do it." And she went, "Do you think it's going to work?" And I said, "Yep, it's going to work. It's absolutely brilliant." And I never, ever doubted it. I don't know about anybody else, but I never doubted it.
Kristen, what about you? What was your first reaction to reading the script, and how did you approach the character?
So I didn't get to read a script because I was
You were crying.
or I was trying too hard.
Because your tears went into the paper and they all
My
like,
tears
blurred.
went into the paper. Or maybe they gave me a script and I'm, not good at doing my homework. But I think, what happened from what I recall was that, so they had filmed 3 episodes and then went on strike. The writers went on strike. Mm-hmm. And I was off trying to work, doing things overseas, because that's all we could do. So I was in the Philippines. And right before I had left, I read for it, but they put together kind of an interesting, odd combination of those Pam one-liners. And they didn't kind of go together, right? And then I had no other information except it was Alan Ball and HBO and Vampire. And I was like, I'm good. I'm in. I'm down. I want to do this. I had read for 6 Feet Under a lot and never booked it. And so I went in and I put on my, I just knew that nobody hires this blonde, blue-eyed thing. No one sees that as tough, ever, 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 ever. So I knew I was up against it to play like one of the tougher female characters. So I made up that voice and I put my hand on my hip.
Nice.
Which I never stopped doing. Right, Stephen? So that was a good joke a recurring joke that Alex, Stephen, and I had. And they're like, "We're going again. Put your hand on your hip, Kristen." So I did that. And then 3 weeks later, they called me back and I read again for Alan Ball again. And I was like, "Why? That means you did something right, but they're unsure. So you probably did something right and something wrong, and you won't know what is what." But then I was in the Philippines and they texted me and said, "I got it." And because I've been fired so many times and this business is hard, I have a good ability to completely forget every audition pretty much closely after I leave. And so in the Philippines, they said, like, right, it's a self-protection amnesia. And the producer on the movie said, "We got to get you back the day after you finish. You have to," I'm going to cry again because this is just, I'm going to be so dehydrated by the end of this. But remember, Stephen, because that was my first day. I'd come from the Philippines.
Yep.
They texted the producer and said, "She got True Blood." And I said, "What's that?" And they said, she's scrolling. It's HBO Vampires. I was like, "Oh, right, good. I wanted that." And then I land in Long Beach outside Fantasia, and we're, running down that alley trying to fly. And I've told this on the podcast, so I won't bore everybody. But it was this crazy night of filming where we were exhausted. I didn't know what country I was in. And Anna, at one point, she started laughing, that great big laugh of hers. And I look at her and she's laughing at me and she goes, "You should see your face." Because I was like, "What the fuck have I gotten myself into?" Yeah, I thought this was a big budget show. It wasn't that night. And we were bonded, for 7 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Who else wants to share their origin story?
I want to hear Sammy's.
Yeah.
Well, I read the script and it was, at the time, like Stephen said, Alan Ball was really hot. He just had 6 Feet Under. He had American Beauty, and it was really the best script that was going around. Yeah. And I read it, and I think I wanted to play everybody but Sam. I think I wanted to play a vampire. They're like, "No, they're doing real cool." Then I think I wanted to play Jason. They're like, "Yeah, you're a little cool." But somehow I got the role, and then I immediately, before we shot the pilot, or right before we were about to shoot it, I broke my nose surfing. and I had 4 or 5 stitches in my nose, and I'm like, I'm gonna get fired. I'm done. Like my career's over. Like it's but it ended up being fine. And it's Kristen, for what you were saying, I remember my first call time was 3 a.m. That was the first, like day 1 of shooting. They were like, we're gonna give you a call. Like it might be midnight. It might be. We'll call you. And that was just set the tone for the next 7 years. Like, call it 2 o'clock, saying, "Yeah, you'll be in an hour." Or at Warner Brothers, and we shot a scene outside of the exterior of Merlot's, with Anna and Rutina. You might have been. I'm not sure if you were there or not, but for sure, Anna. But yeah, that was my thing.
That was your origin story. Well, Rutina, were you there?
I can't. No, I feel like wait. I feel like my first scene on set was us and Merlot's. Sam, I feel like it was a bar scene. But I have a very interesting story because I replaced an actor, and it was weird for me walking onto a set that was already established and everybody knew everybody. And so I was super nervous, especially to meet Anna and everybody. And I just didn't know, that I belonged. I was fresh out of college. I just had no idea. But now I'm going to cry. I walked on that set and everyone just had their arms open and they were like, "We love you. You're welcome. You're great." So I was able to really get in there and do the things I know I could do without feeling like I had to prove myself. Like everybody just kind of welcomed me. And me and Sam, I remember Sam, we really kind of connected right away. Like I feel like our connection was always on from day one.
We had a New York thing because you were.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And then Anna was we became kind of really, really, really close very quickly because she just accepted me right where I was and was just happy that I was there. And that means a lot to you. And I think a lot of young actors sometimes you don't know how much it means to actually walk on a set and feel welcomed and feel like that's where you belong. And I really felt this with True Blood. And I think it's one of my favorite families I've ever had in my entire career because everyone was so genuine and incredibly talented, but genuine, good people. So I'll never forget that. I'll tell that story for the rest of my life where I just walked on and was like, this is it. This is, you know what I mean? And I'm having fun. This is fun. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Well, even just putting this event together and seeing how you guys interact, you can tell you truly got along. You were a family, and everybody's just so generous, I would say is a good word for how I found all the cast members to be with each other and with us. Mariana, what is your sort of origin story with True Blood?
So I was brought in just as a guest star for season 1. And then it was guest star, possibly recurring. So TBD. And I had my first night was a real doozy, Steve, if you remember. It was the scene where I make you, and we were in that cabin on the Disney
lot. I'm gonna let you tell the story because then I'm gonna talk about our work hours. That
I was lucky that I worked most of all of my scenes were mostly with Steve, and he was just such a lovely, generous scene partner and was always wanting to take care of me in that way that lovely actors do he's a brilliant director. And so I always got the benefit of that of lift up your chin a little bit. And you would sort of always know the little things that, most actors don't tell each other because we're too focused on ourselves. But he was always so lovely. Thank you, Steve. I love you. But so it was freezing. I don't know. It was 40 degrees or something. And I'm in a corset. Everybody else is in puffers and around critters. And I'm in a corset with a prosthetic neck that has a blood rigging thing. And it's my first day and I'm so scared that I'm going to screw up. And they put it on too early, and then it was leaky. I don't even remember all of the things that happened, but it was an 18-hour day.
It was 18 hours.
Yeah.
And we got there at 6 and we wrapped at midnight.
Yeah.
And then we had a 12-hour turnaround. The actors, just in case you don't know, everybody, the actors get a 12-hour turnaround. They asked if they could break our call, which they did. So we got like an 11-hour turnaround, I think. And we got back to work that next day. I want to say they called us even earlier than, I think we went back in at about 9 or 10, but we did another 18 hours.
Wow.
And so we started at, I want to say we started at noon the next day, and we wrapped at 6 a.m., 18 hours. And then we hadn't finished, and they only had the Disney cabin for that day. So at 6 o'clock, we left, and then we went back that night, Mariana, and we did another 10 hours that night.
Yeah.
It was and finished at like midday the next day on Thursday.
That's like 46 hours.
It was
is my-
wild.
My high
It's the
school.
longest working 3 days I've ever had in. It was
Yeah.
just
It was wild,
Wow.
but I will say I find those scenes to be some of my favorite. Like I think that the look of it, the feel of it, the different sort of emotional, I don't know, the orchestration of it, I think it really worked. So I guess, question mark, it was worth it.
Well, I mean, you two did, aside from the making scene, you did have other pretty famous scenes, the twisting of the head
Yeah.
around. So just quickly before we hop over to Tara, why don't you talk about, some of the more challenging moments or some of the more fun moments with filming?
I will say that scene that you're talking about is so outrageous. He is so angry with her because of something that she's done that he climbs on top of her and starts attacking her, and then ends up, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, he then ends up inside her, and then because he can't bear to look at her, he turns her head the other way
So
around.
rude.
It's great. It's so great.
I never. What do you remember reading that?
I've ended that way.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Art imitating life.
Yeah, I will say that they didn't know how they were going to do that, what was going to work necessarily, whether it was going to be CG, whether it was going to be practical. So they made this dummy. They did like a full double of me, and she was like hanging out on set half naked, which was weird because it was me. And so Steve had to do scenes with her, with my
If
double.
anybody's ever seen Boxing Helena, that movie where the actress has the lady has her arms and legs cut off, and she's just I had that Mariana that I was carrying around.
You preferred her probably, but
Wow.
that was a long day too. I remember that was a day where I think we had, it was, I don't know how many hours of simulated sex. And I remember you finally were just like, guys, I think
Another left, guys.
how many different ways can we shoot this? Good times.
Those are good times. So talk about iconic scenes, Tara. You have
Yeah.
the Scream scene, which
I mean,
we really
every
worked
scene
on
was a
getting a
Scream
product for that. That'll happen the next time. But yeah, talk about that, and then your origin story with the show, and just if you can share a little bit about that scene. I think that people would like to hear how it
Yeah.
was filming.
Well, I also was a guest star. I came in as a guest star in the first season, and had heard rumors. Everybody was talking about the show, and of course, because Alan Ball and vampires, but there was a lot of secrecy around it, and so nobody really knew, like on the street, like nobody knew really what the show was about. So I had done a pilot with Greg Feinberg that didn't go anywhere, and I ended up coming in for Ginger, and first of all, she was the way I played it and the way I remember sort of the character description was, she works at this biker vampire bar, and she's strung out and she has a lot of attitude. And I was like, okay, great.
I got this.
No. And so when we went and we shot at Alex's in Long Beach, and I show up at night, and we're in the trailer. I don't know anyone or what's going on. In the trailer, Alex walks in.
with the weirdest, long, blonde, creepy wig you've ever seen. And he's just kind of cruising around, and everyone's just like, and we go on set, and within, an hour, there's blood everywhere. I'm throwing up mushroom soup, long shadows getting staked.
That was intense.
Yeah. It was just, and it was incredible. It was like christening by fire, By the end of the night, Anna is completely covered in blood. I'm completely covered in blood. And I'm screaming because you would, as a human, you would scream. And then it just became a thing, Then every scene I did from there moving forward.
What was so amazing? Did they say in the script, like, she gives a blood curdling scream?
No.
That's amazing. It's because it was so perfect.
Yeah.
It
And
just seems
remember,
so
you
like
were
logical
crawling
right
around in the
yes.
goo. It was really, we all had a fascinating start.
And it was like, because you kind of go through all of that stuff in your first experience on set, you bond with everybody. I just remember by the end of the night. And I didn't know if I was coming back.
Yeah,
Me too. But it was like, whatever that was an amazing experience. And every time I got called, I was like, oh, I'm not dead and I get to return.
Yeah, right. Start drinking warm tea with honey to get ready for your screaming.
Well, it was the next season then when they brought me back that I had a scene with Nelson and in the bar in Fantasia, and I'm supposed to be guarding, I'm guarding Fantasia, right? So I come out with a gun. And that was the first time I sort of chose, I was like, now, like, she's a screamer, she like screams at the gun, she screams at everything, dirty rags. Like, it's all about her all the time. And it like became a thing. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, last but not least, Deborah, let's talk about Jessica.
Okay.
Jessica's journey.
Jessica's journey. That sounds like a game you could buy on
right?
Jessica's journey.
Jessica's journey. How did you come into the character, and what was your initial approach to the material?
Right. So I guess I'm the latest edition of everyone here. I was the end of the first season. So I also did not get a script. I just got my scenes, and I was being made into a vampire. And then the surprise twist was that this very innocent girl who, protested being made a vampire, actually, it was very freeing for her because of the very repressed life from before. So I remember, like, I'm a sciencey person. I get excited about things like that. So my first thing was like, oh, this is a world with predators and prey. We don't live in that world anymore. Like, human beings don't walk around worried about getting eaten by a bear, right? So we have those instincts in us, but they don't express themselves in the same way. So I wanted to think about that like, I ended up watching a lot of videos of like animals attacking other animals. That sounds really crazy, but in nature and what that experience is like. And I remember finding one of a deer. And what was interesting is there was the initial fight, the extreme panic fight. And then when it was kind of clear they couldn't get out, they relaxed. And it was a fascinating thing that I would never have thought of without having done that research. And so that was Stephen and I. Oh no, we lost Stephen. So my first night was jumping out of that Camaro in the junkyard, surrounded by actors who had more experience than me, who were more well-known than I was, all of the things. And having this really intense scene where then Bill bites me. And I remember I was so glad to have that direction go. This is going to go more into the animalistic crocodile brain of who these people are, because you're in that kind of a situation. And then just go and have fun with it from there.
I'll never forget that table read. your first table read.
It was so heartbreaking. Oh, it was so, like, those scenes were so heartbreaking.
And you were
so good.
You were so beautiful. Like, I was
Thank you.
who is this? Who is this young woman coming in here?
But the same thing, right? Like, you come in feeling like I am no one.
Right.
These are all these really important people. I better show up with my A game and bring everything I've got. whilst, as we all know, once you've been it, you're like, oh, casual. This is just a table read, so you're not thinking on that same way. So
You killed that.
yeah, so guest stars almost always come in and kill things because.
But it's so true because we used to have our table reads for the whole 7 seasons, and I don't know about you guys. You complete and Rutina. I'd be interested to know if you had this on Queen Sugar, but I have not worked on another show that had a table read every single lunchtime. There was the following week, we would be doing a table read at some point during our lunch.
Yeah, me neither.
And I always ask, are we going to do table reads for this? And no one ever has. And
That's wild.
did they for you?
That for me too. It was like that on Queen Sugar. We had like one. We'd have that first one.
Yeah.
And then it just was, and I missed it because there was something about getting together once a week. And
because
sometimes
you're seeing folk that you haven't been working with.
Yeah.
It's the only time I would see so many people.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
And also at those table reads, you have the art department, the costume department, the grips, the lighting, the everybody from the camera department. Everybody comes to those table reads, and there used to be sometimes there would be like 100, 150 people in that room. And to your point, Deb, yes, we're all there sort of doing lunch stuff because everybody goes in with their lunch boxes and everybody's going, oh, you got the chicken, where was that? And whilst you're doing your lines, you're turning the page whilst you're eating your noodles, or not noodles, because Sam and I didn't eat noodles for 7 years because everybody else was just
angry,
ripped. But I do remember that table read and just going and like literally having a mouthful of food and going, that because you knocked it out of the lot. Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about
noodles. Guys, can I just ask? I want to join the chat. There's a chat on here on Streamily.
Yeah.
Is anybody else on the chat? Well, you haven't got your keyboards in front of you, have you?
No, we just have our own.
I'm on my own Instagram.
Okay, everybody on the chat. I've tried to join. I don't know how. I'm sorry.
We're just
they keep
This is my first.
I know.
Well, so I'm sure someone will leave in the chat how you joined, Stephen. So just keep reading it and
Okay.
one of the friendly.
I've tried to sign in with my Google account. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, this is actually a really great point. There's so many people watching this. So many people are still really passionate about the show and interested in following each and every one of your careers. What do you think it is that resonates about True Blood? Because it is, a genre show. It's not a procedural. It's definitely, sci-fi. And what do you think fans connect to?
I feel like they connected to it. I mean, again, I think I'm such a fan of Alan Ball's, but I feel like he has an incredible ability to always blend real human emotions, experiences, grounded in reality, simultaneously with something fantastical. And very few shows, if any, ever do that successfully. And so it has, I think, this wonderful otherworldly thing going on, and yet it really felt dangerous and sexy and real. And I mean, I was thinking about when both of these scenes you guys were talking about, I remember watching them because I didn't shoot any of those things, watching them on TV and thinking, when your head, that sex scene and your head got turned around, I was like, what is this show? I was like, what is going on? My aunt in Idaho was like, but it was so exciting. It was so exciting because nothing was being done like that. And
I think that Tara, I think that what you're saying is so. I think every one of us. I think one of the things that the writers did, and one of the things that Alan was able to do, that doesn't happen a lot. I don't think sort of across the board, is that everybody had stuff. If your stuff was working, in the show, they would write to you, they would write to it. And I remember one of the first things I remember was coming back after the pilot had been picked up and sitting with Sammy, Ryan, Anna, Nelson, I think, And I think you were there, Rutina, even though you weren't in the pilot. And there was one other person who's ridiculous. It's probably ridiculous that I'm blanking on who it was. But I want to say there were 6 of us, but we sat in like Alan's office or an office off of Alan's, and we watched the pilot together.
Oh yeah.
And it was a pilot that was not quite locked in yet. We had to reshoot Rutina scenes. There was some bits and pieces of Louisiana that weren't there yet, and there were a couple of like plate shots that weren't in, and the sound hadn't been done, and the music was still kind of being played with. But I remember watching that episode and just going, I have never seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I think that we were all shocked about, in answer to the question, the thing that shocked me was, and you just touched on this, Tara, it was scary. It was when stuff was vicious, it was really vicious. When it was sexy, it was really sexy.
Mm-hmm.
But this was my abiding feeling, was that it was so funny. And when I'd read the script, I remembered smiling and laughing, but we were laughing out loud in that pilot. And one of the things that I've a recurring thing for me over the years, when somebody just stopped me the other day and said it, like even when the show was in its latter seasons, and this happens to all shows where you're still trying to find material for those characters, and it becomes a little bit, Scooby-Doo. Our show did become a bit Scooby-Doo. It was still,
You said it, Steve.
it was still fun. And the other thing that worked about it was that when you got to the end of an episode, you always knew that the next episode would begin where that episode left off. So when you finished the episode, you were in this kind of cliffhanging moment where the next episode was going to start exactly where you just were. And that, and this was obviously this was in a world before there was binging. This was in a world before you could watch it straight away. You had to wait a week.
Right.
And people would have parties together to watch it.
Yeah.
Right?
We
Together.
made edited recaps last week on True Blood. Was like one of the last shows that still did that.
Yeah. And I know I've told this story before, guys, but when Anna and I went to the I think it was 2011, but it might have been 2010, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and Anna and I were invited as guests of Newsweek, and we sat next to Jon Favreau, not the director Jon Favreau, but Obama's speechwriter Jon Favreau, who does Pod Save America, if anybody listens to that podcast. Brilliant podcast, by the way, John, if you're watching, which you're probably not. But I was sitting next to John when Obama was doing the speech, when he roasted Trump, and in that famous time when and the cameras cut to Trump sort of reacting really badly. But it was afterwards that we were all talking to them, and they told us that the reason that we'd been invited to the White House Correspondents' Dinner was because during the primary run, Obama and his entire team used to watch on a Sunday night. So they'd finish their week of work and campaigning and knocking on doors and all of that stuff in Chicago. And then on a Sunday night, they would all get together at 9 o'clock in Obama's house, and they would all sit and they would watch together before they all went their home at the end of the week, which is just unbelievable, isn't it?
That is unbelievable. That's
the coolest story.
If
the
the
most
Obamas are
iconic.
watching, go to streamily.com/.
Yeah. So Barack, as I didn't get to see you that night, you want a signature? Just
Here, right here.
We could probably arrange a free one for Barack, and Michelle.
oh, it's been a tough few months.
That's amazing. Up until now, I always thought the most iconic thing an actor could have was an action figure or a musical episode. But now I'm going to change that to the Obamas Love My Show. So you guys win. Really quickly, I do want to go back to the podcast and talk, Kristen and Deborah. What was the impetus behind you guys creating the rewatch? It's obviously really popular. Everybody's coming, and you're having great cast members come on, but what was the initial, like, tell me about the call between you two, who pitched who, what happened?
Well, it was Janina really who came up with the idea and then pitched us on it.
But it's so funny because she pitched me.
Yes.
Because we did a panel similar to this, and at the end of it, she goes, "Kristen, I'm calling you right now." And the panel ended, and she called me. I'm gonna cry. This is getting ridiculous.
Oh, Kristen.
Even more ridiculous. And she goes, "You need to do a True Blood panel." And I went, "Huh." Podcast. And I went, "Huh. Okay." So then we called Deb and said, "Do you want to do it with us?" And she was like, thought. And then she goes, "Okay, I have questions." And I was like, I probably should have asked questions. That's a good idea to ask questions. And she had really good questions. And every question she asked, I thought, right, I do wonder about that. And after this like 30-minute really intense call, I hung up the phone and thought, wow, I really need answers to those actually. And then Janina went off, and we didn't know what was really happening, but she sold it to HBO.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
sold
that's
it,
great.
which is amazing because it means we can pull clips from the show and
Right.
we have more access to things. And then Jace Everett, who wrote the theme song to True Blood, wrote us a special sting where he says "Truest Blood"
Yeah.
because he's incredible.
Yeah.
We have an interview with him on the very first season. I mean, talking to actors is spectacular, and we always love doing that. But no offense, talking to the people who don't normally get interviewed, Suzuki Ingersleb, who did our sets, Jace, who did the music. I mean,
Right.
these are things, we all sort of hear each other's stories, and we get do interviews a lot. Talking to them has been an absolute privilege to just hear the amount of work that went into the show before we even got cast or showed up on set, and then the amount of work that happens after we leave, and what a deep appreciation that gave. And so what it turned into for me was not only getting to reconnect with everyone, but getting to share with the world all those untold stories. So that when you watch something, it isn't the accumulation of work that has gone into that and the appreciation.
Guys, Woolbridge and Basta are watching this.
We saw Sarah. Yay, hi guys.
Sorry, guys, carry on.
Heroes.
Yes. So that's been a real pleasure to get to hear their stories and what went into it and why we had such a rich world to play in.
Yeah, every single person.
Yeah.
It was, I think, I'm very biased, of course, but was the best of the best.
We have not spoken to a slacker yet.
No.
Yeah.
You couldn't, I mean, maybe there was one that, got weeded out at some point because you just couldn't be with the hours that you two experienced and we all experienced, and everyone was the best of the best.
Yeah.
I think that I again I might have told this on the podcast, but I when I directed the first episode, which was episode 8, season 5, and I had been shadowing people, but I had not. And I'd been in a few rooms and I'd been watching, and I wasn't allowed to really speak, and I, which was really tough for me, and I had this fantastic episode where actually Sam got to do some amazing stuff in my episode with Janina. Actually, we were just talking about, I had to take my very first sort of tech recce, and then we do this production meeting before the show goes out, before we even start shooting the show. And this is to Deb's and Kristen's point. I would sit there and listen to like Tom, the prop master, tell me about the things that he had created or built or made or wanted to make, or the way that they wanted to create a backdrop. Or Suzuki would come to me with colors of what she thought the backdrop would be for a specific scene. And then Audrey, the costume designer, would come with a costume color that was in, because she'd been talking to Suzuki and how making sure that the colors of the costumes didn't clash, and the way that things worked like that. And there was a scene where Joe Manganiello had to hit somebody with a rock, and Tom had created like 18 styrofoam rocks. And he was like, which size do you think would be good for Joe's hand? It should be this one. I mean, Joe's got some big hands. Do you think it should be? And you're just, and I remember like the chains that had to go around your neck, Deb, you know, that you had 14 chains to choose from. And just the amount of work that those people put in is, you can't believe it. We were also lucky enough to be on a studio where the carpentry department was next to our studio, because we took over the whole of this lot in Los Angeles. And so we would be able to walk past Billy and all of his team where they were creating the sets and building them. And you could just walk through that carpentry shop. Do you remember that, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And watch them build the next set. It was extraordinary.
This is kind of a generic question, but it's always a fan favorite. So I do want to ask, Sam, we'll start with you. And I'm going to you, Bertina, next. Favorite episode that you were in, or favorite episode that you were not in, either way, but if people have a favorite episode from the show, I think we'd like to hear which episode that is and why.
Oh my God. Well, that's a tough one. I will say this. I think my favorite season was maybe season 2. I feel like we were exploding by the end of season 2. Like it was everything to me was so surprising and innovative, and the way the show, we talked a little bit about it before, but just the way the show bridged different genres. You know, it had the Southern Gothic thing happening, and then the comedy and the sexy and scary. One of my favorite shows that just pops into my head that I got to do was where my brother turned into me, shifted into me. That's how it was. So I got to imitate Altman. Marshall. So that was a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Well, once I found out you were a good mimic, I feel like they just threw that at you. Yeah, they went with it.
Yeah. Then I did the Janina one, which I don't know.
With me.
That was like, it didn't work quite as well. And I remember after the read through, one of the directors came. It might have been Lehman or somebody, and they're like, you might want to pull that. We're not going to go all the way with you.
You might want to pull
Maybe
back.
we'll do the walk, Sam. We got to pull it back a little bit.
That's universal code
I
for
know.
That was a fun one. That
That
was a fun one.
And we did that shot in the episode that we did together, Sammy, where we did that 2.5 minute shot where you act
so
against
bizarre. It was so bizarre.
Mm.
Yeah, that was really bizarre.
I had this shot where Sam's acting with himself, where he's playing Janina, playing him, and I wanted to do it in one shot, so we used this thing where it's called a motion control head on the top of the dolly, and the dolly records the shot, which the cameraman operates, but the camera is physically recording the movements that the cameraman is making, and it was 2.5 minutes, and then once it's recorded and we're happy with the shot, the dolly then exactly records it repeats exactly what just happened, and Sam was playing the version of him in bed that was the ill version, but Sam was laying on Sam's legs where Sam was talking to Sam. And so we had to cast that lovely actor. I can't remember.
Did I have to kiss myself? I don't know.
You didn't have to kiss yourself. You were just about to kiss yourself.
Super incestuous.
Yeah. Crazy shit.
Like really weird.
Rutina, favorite?
Yeah, that's hard. But I have 3 things. So I have to say all of season 1, it's my favorite. Yeah. Because we're all established there. And then I would have to say Tara in the UFC, like cage fighting.
Yeah.
And then becoming a vampire and getting to like be a gargoyle and like tear up shit in the kitchen. I got to tear up the entire Stackhouse kitchen. And that was like so much fun. I was buried alive. Like I would never forget. You remember that night, Kristen? When we did the dirt and I was like,
did
really?
it too. You could put very few of us. We've been buried alive.
And
Steven's been buried alive.
Yeah. It was the same because I was like, so the whole shovel of dirt,
We're
just
gonna
all
do
gonna
it.
be on my face. okay, and you're gonna count to 3. Okay. I remember being like so scared. It was cold, but we had like so much fun. But that was like fun for me because Tara got to go through so much, a huge journey, and I think being able to like hit all those different points was like just so challenging for me as an actor and like fun because sometimes you get a role and it's just flat lines. But like Tara's like duct taped to toilets. She's chasing like Franklin's trying to kill her. Like all these things. It was just like I loved it. I felt like it was like one big play, and I got to just like really like create all these little parts of myself and these layers. So it was so much fun. Yeah.
What about Mariana? What about you?
Oh, and the poll. I got to be on the poll.
That's right.
Tara on the poll. Okay.
Carry on. Never forget the poll.
Yeah. Never forget the poll.
Used to baby Cerberus. Sorry.
Gosh, that's a tough one because I got so many. I feel like I was kind of spoiled with the flashbacks. Maybe the 20s flashback, Steve, because you got to like sing and play the piano, and we were in those amazing costumes.
It was incredible.
Incredible, and we were in this amazing house. I don't even know how much they changed that house. Like it felt like we just walked in and started shooting, and it was like a sort of historic building near downtown, and the whole day was kind of got to be lost in that one because it was all sort of practical stuff, real set, and it was just so different from a lot of the other stuff we did. So I think, and romantic and scary and fun, and the 20s flashback.
Flashbacks are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fun. You're like,
Yeah.
what wardrobe do I get?
Yeah, exactly.
All about the wardrobe.
What is
The wardrobe.
It's gonna be different. Okay.
Yeah.
Deborah, Kristen, Tara,
You go ahead.
any standout?
Go ahead first for a second here. I'm dying.
Okay, yes.
I it's hard for me. I feel like the right answer is season 7 because I got to do so much and obviously just had some wonderful, the flashbacks and then, my scenes with Alex and, all of that stuff was so fun and so great and kind of a culmination of a 7-year journey for my character. And validation for me as an actor through my character, like I feel like she got seen in a way that she deserved. Yeah. So that was really special. I also, and it makes me emotional, I loved working with Nelson also, and that scene with him in the bar, it's a experience I'll never forget. And I was just such a special, incredible, amazing artist. In between takes, he was reading a book in the corner and just being very studious and sensitive and lovely. And I will, cherish those things. Yeah.
Now everyone's crying.
Yeah, right. So we had so many great experiences. It was like, and also watching, getting to watch, because I wasn't in so many scenes, I really was a fan of the show, and I got to watch and see the show and the characters in a way like I got to be backstage, but it also wasn't completely my world also. And I really was a fan of it. And so I remember watching your scenes with Nelson. I mean, these are all my Nelson scenes, but you had some amazing episodes, and I'll never forget just like you going at him one day. And I was like, whoa, Kristen just flew to life. There was just something I literally like stood up at home off my couch and was like, So, I had like so many of those moments watching you guys and seeing the full, like I said, like being backstage, but then seeing the performances complete and the costumes complete and the world that had come to life. And it was a really special position to be in, I think, to kind of get both of those things.
I feel like we all had that in a way because the show was so enormous.
Yeah.
And there were so many worlds, right? Like, and we were pretty segregated. So I don't know what the wolves were doing. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know what those fairies did. But, right? Remember, I would see you, Sam, and be like, "How's the show you're on?"
I know. We were like, we only got to cross paths once, and that was it.
Yeah, I came
Very
over to
briefly.
Lots one day just to like walk around, and it was like, "Whoa, this set is cool."
Yeah.
And I think it is hard to pick a favorite season or a scene because I love the scenes with all of us, you know, but they were long and they were crazy and there'd be all kinds of things going on and pauses. And then you'd say one line and then, but it was so fun. And Moira and I would just be 8-year-olds in between takes, you know, just trying to get these people to focus, you know. And then I also loved the scenes where I was one-on-one talking to someone, you know, because that had that actor flow where you didn't have stunts and you didn't have other stuff, right? And I loved it so much. I'm remembering like, so that this is going to feel weird with my next line is not going to go with what's happening to my body. But when my face was rotting.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Why is my body crying when I say that? I don't know. I have no control over this thing. But, you know, we had a full day with just Stephen and I. And that was rare.
Yep.
And I didn't have any romance really, but I did with Rutina. Yeah. You know, I finally got some romance.
Yeah.
Right?
And that makes you emotional.
I know, right? It was really beautiful.
was nice.
It was fun. Our relationship was really fun.
Yeah.
And I think that came after the season where Alex was over with the authority. Y'all left me in Fantasia. I'd cross to the other stage and be like, where are my vampire peeps? You know, I was a part of that storyline and then my girl. So anyway, it was pretty much all fabulous.
Deborah, I know your phone died, but
Yeah.
you know, the people are still watching here. So if
I
you
think for me, I'm gonna go with season 4 for 2 reasons. One, personally, I loved working with Ryan Kwan. I mean, I love working with a lot of people. I work with Steve, obviously, through this entire thing. He will always be my father on some deep core level. It'll always live that way. But the start of getting to work with Ryan was really special for me. He's such a unique, special actor. And I was so glad to have had that experience. And then, you know, Kristen and I with the podcast, part of what we talk about is we never watched the show. So this is our first time watching through. And there's something about the second and third seasons, as fantastic as they are, we're all split up. It's, you know, are you in Dallas? Are you in Mississippi? Are you something like that? And 4 brought everyone home. And watching the season through now and like, oh yeah, that's the family. We're all together now here in Bon Temps. And there was something really lovely about that. It had the feeling of the first season in that way. I got to work with people who I had not worked with yet. So that, season 4 holds a special place for me for those 2 reasons.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to start wrapping this up. We've actually gone almost an hour. Thank you to everyone who's watched. You guys are all amazing. 2 quick questions. First is kind of a fun one. Who's the out of the people on this panel, who's the most like their character?
Wow.
None of us?
None of us.
None of us.
None of us, and all of us as well.
No.
And all of us.
I mean, I guess Sam, because he is human, you know.
Well, but he wasn't. He was a shapeshifter.
I mean, right. He played it.
I think we saw Sam naked more than anyone else.
That's true. Yeah.
Running in the woods.
Yeah, I was always naked. Always.
Always naked.
Always naked and cold.
For your shirt.
Yes.
Jazz shoes and your jazz shoes.
There's some great pictures of Sam. There's great pictures of Sam like going in the 38
There was
degrees.
one night that Janina and I worked all night and it was 28 degrees and we had a 3-page scene, post being horses, and we're just kind of lounging around talking, you know, just talking, sitting still. And it was 28 degrees. We're just like, take a deep breath and then do the scene. And you couldn't see anybody's, you could only see eyes. You saw puffy hats and like gloves and everybody behind the camera and and we were naked. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that is weird to play a character where when you're in your superpower, you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
That's different. So you like would strip naked.
Yeah.
And then a dog comes in and does some acting. And then
They never lit me well. They always lit Steven and Ryan. They were so well lit in the rooms. I was in the forest being dwarfed
Listen
by
to him.
everything.
Listen
They
to
didn't
him.
light you well either, by the way.
just they
for the
did not
record.
like me well. I will say I will complain about that. I begged for a Phil.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up the panel. Before we get to our very last comments, I want to remind everyone, tune in to everybody's personal Instagrams after this. You can see your order, your photo signed live. They will be saying hi and whatnot. And thank you for tuning in. So, Deborah, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. We're going to go this way around the room, and then we'll go to Sam and Steven last. If you had to describe your True Blood experience in one word, what would it be?
This is karma because Kristen makes all of our podcast
This is
guests
karma
do this.
coming back at me.
One word. Hyphenated.
That's multi.
Life changing. Genuinely,
Yeah.
life changing.
One word.
Hyphenated.
No, right. Exquisite.
It's hard. I want to explain.
Yeah, you can explain.
I'm just going to say true
Mm.
because it was such an honest, incredible, once in a lifetime experience, but just truthfully there in every way.
I love that.
I will say thrilling. Yeah. It was really thrilling. Start to be top to bottom. Start to finish. Yeah.
I'll say family.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam, you're up.
Tough. I'm gonna say profound.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say a lot of words.
Shocker.
Because you can.
because I think that one of the things that is so special about the experience was everything that everybody has said, and there was an authenticity about the experience. And there were a couple of people who came on who didn't stay very long because they came in with a bit of a tude, and that didn't work on our set. And so to Kristen's point, like, it was just this family and there was no ego. And that is so very, very rare in our business.
Yeah.
So the one word I'm going to say is, because everybody's been asking me to say it, is suki.
That's the word to describe the show.
Yeah, and that does describe
Does
it.
describe
Yes, that was our fearless leader. Shout out to Suki.
Shout out to Suki.
Because
Shout
you're
out
right,
to
because it starts from the top down, and she was our number one, and she set that tone.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for taking time on this Sunday to join us. Thank you to all the panelists. You guys are amazing. The show is just, it makes me want to rewatch it and re-listen to the podcast at the same time.
Me
So
too.
yes, definitely. Thank you guys so much. And everyone say bye and cruise on over to the Instagram.
Now, guys, you're going to keep this thing on, right?
Yeah, we can.
We can use this
on
too?
while we're going.
Okay. All right.
But
Well, then-
do you want us to turn the sound down and just keep this going?
Sure, we can do it any way we want to.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to mute this, but keep this going. Okay.
Sounds
He's
good.
So smart,
Yes.
Stephen.
Real quick, just want to make
I'm
an
techie.
Techie,
So I might
techie.
have
I'm
to.
not a techie.
So first things first,
Oh, yeah,
guys.
sorry.
We're going to start with these group posters that people were kind enough to buy.
Yeah.
They're still available now if you want to grab them. We're going to be going around the table.
Just like the size.
Can I have a look at the group poster? It looks so awesome.
Yes. Can we do that? And this is totally dead, so I'm on here.
All right.
We'll figure
I'm
out.
gonna.
Jim, there
I'll
you
be
go.
back, guys. I'll be back.
It's awesome.
Sam's signature's already there.
Just for today, kids.
All right.
So
Hello. Hello,
Okay,
everybody.
I'm gonna
This is
mute.
very. Well, people on. I guess people are on.
Okay.
This is the very first
I'm gonna go in
Instagram
and go to
I've
my
ever
page.
done.
today.
Ever.
And we're all
And I just got to
I'm going.
Miami.
He's on Broadway.
He's just on
Right now.
Broadway.
Just doing a Broadway thing.
So
Thanks for all coming, everybody. What?
And there's
what's on that
so
weird-
many photos in there that are
If you
See everybody.
that have never been signed
Just gotta
before.
go.
photos to sign here live, and I want to get to that because I know you all have been. This panel went over. I hope you all got to
And sign in.
tune into it. But the first one I have
How do I sign in?
is for Olivia. Olivia, I hope you're there.
Well, my orders.
I don't
Did they take a
I
bite?
know.
Did they take a
Yeah.
bite?
Yes. So we'll start by just add. We will. Everybody can sign the group ones and just call out.
But
We'll just
Olivia,
pass it around.
Okay.
And then
Love
we'll
True
start
Blood.
giving you guys
I'm one of your
photos.
favorite characters. Thanks,
And-
Olivia.
And
And you're a
when
third
we-
grade
for
teacher.
me to take a little
I'm
and
sorry,
you should
guys.
visit
Hang on.
relax. Third grade. When I was in third
Oh,
grade,
Right.
now.
I was in.
Okay, go now.
I am going
remember my
to-
third grade
we're all
teacher
gonna
was
take a
he was
take a
in
bathroom break,
Texas.
because
She always
all the
bragged that
girls went
Texas
to the
was the
bathroom
greatest
together.
place.
Because that's what girls
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
We were
that's
in
what
Louisiana,
girls
so
do.
she was just giving us a
And
hard
so
time.
you are going to see the wall.
The third grade was a good year, and thank you for being.
All right.
This is your
Hello,
first.
everybody. Thanks for
That-
listening
that-
to that. My first one is to Veronica. Veronica, hi.
And
I
let's make it out to Olivia.
I've got a box here that I
Olivia,
haven't opened yet.
this one's for you.
That got sent to me in New York, which is why I'm not with everybody. And it's got my pictures in. And
Hi guys, it's Campbell. You gotta put up with me for a little bit.
Sign this away.
what's going on your Sunday? Hi, Heidi. Toad. All right.
There you go, Olivia. We will be sending that to you. Okay. And the next one we have.
Exciting is that unwrapping a gift. Somebody said earlier that they
this
were unsure about me,
This is from-
my glasses. And I said,
Season
I was like,
one.
well, I wouldn't have actually been able to
Yeah.
read
It was like one of my first days of
or
working with
messages if I didn't have my glasses.
and Anna. I think this
You
one we
all
found Nelson dead or
See that.
in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's what that was. And this is going to Hope. Hope, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a fan. I'm getting some more waves. Dex Marie. Oh, okay, let's see.
So Veronica,
Hope.
to my special vampire queen, and you want the bill, this one.
Right, Hope. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you can ask questions. Go ahead,
And
Diana.
Dominic. Oh, okay. This is from,
Okay, they're gonna bring
They're
it.
from Canada.
this is from- I
Hi.
think this is
Love
from,
Canada.
photos from like season, maybe it's season, I think it's
So,
season 3 or
Veronica,
4.
I am
I
going
remember,
to change glasses
what's the brain number? I just had
because I am, as some of you have pointed out, really old.
But this was around, I think
Hi guys.
this was around when the werewolf
Dog
was
hair.
coming
Yeah,
out.
this
He's
is
not even
signing
in here.
now.
Dave's not even in here, my dog. And
Anyway, Dominic.
there's dog hair over
So,
everything. Just unwraps the package. You just watch me do
Did
it.
you guys get Prince? Prince, Prince to sign.
Good Suki.
And I'll say your name, say your name.
I know what
Exciting.
it was because it does not say here.
Oh, you plugged in?
Why,
It's
someone
silver
plugged
or black.
There you go, Dominic.
Tell people
Okay.
to go here.
Silver or
Thank
black.
you.
That's amazing.
It's a little
No,
And
it's fine. I'm gonna tell everyone.
Alright.
to go to the
Happy
YouTube.
birthday to
and Amy.
She's amazing.
you. I gotta go.
I lost some people. I see I lost
Silver or
y'all.
black.
This one.
Take a little break.
Yes.
There was not
Trying to
going to be a
look
season 8.
Doing my best.
Talk of it at one point, but
Trying to look.
didn't happen during season 5 when you faced off against the authority. The
And this
leaders.
is probably
Yes, Valentina. Yeah, I remember Valentina. She was amazing. She was great.
So lucky
It was
to
a
be
shame she was
coming
only
back.
on it for one season.
All right.
Lovely.
You're fine.
Yes.
Trying to
One
go
of the
back
funny
to
things was that she smoked,
Okay.
and at that point, nobody else smoked during.
So gold, black, and silver, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
I think everybody sort of stopped smoking around
What's
then.
everybody
but I-
doing?
for-
Talk to me,
for
people.
years, a couple
Hey,
months.
Susie.
And
What's up?
and
Davina Dance Academy.
and
Hi ho.
so she was constantly
Hey.
chewing gum. So whenever we had to do like a sex scene or anything, she had
I
to
get it. I
take
know.
the
The fun
gum
thing.
out
I get it.
and place it
Cookie crack house.
somewhere. And
I hope you're there.
all around that
Who else
Love
did
you
do some waves?
was like these
Oh, thank
And-
you.
to be able to
Have a
put
little face.
gum.
All right.
Because I haven't seen these guys in a
Yes,
long
I do
time.
speak to the guys from Men Only, whoever asked that.
Shit.
Mark Warren's one of my best friends, and occasionally I run into
Love you too.
Martin Freeman as well.
Kurt? Okay, love you.
I love that we're people's comfort.
I'm so
show.
bad at this show. I've never been live. I'd never go live.
Honestly, it's truly amazing, and
Hi.
as you can tell if you were watching the YouTube,
It's good to see you guys.
And
What's up,
thank you,
Galfer?
I've never had a bond like that between such
Hello.
I love you, buddy.
And
Hey,
then we have
Jeremy.
Amanda.
Did you get back to me, Vanessa? I'm going to do silver. Okay.
Good.
So to Vanessa. So, no, Veronica. I'm sorry, Veronica. I know it's Veronica.
My
Oh,
G.
you guys
This
are
is
great.
when, by the way, this is when I was still insisting on.
I've been
on
good.
thinking,
I've been very good recovering from double foot
And
surgery.
I'm going to put to my special vampire queen down here on the flat.
What do you mean?
Next time you see me, you're going to see me in heels. I love you, Jeff Galfer. I love you.
Hello.
We have all
I
love
just
for
did an
you.
actor thing because I was like, oh, hey. Oh,
Hey, Gwen.
Everybody, let's see.
okay. Potato
Hi,
chip.
Chuck McLaren.
Oh, hey, New York. What's up, NY? I miss New York. I love New York.
There
New
you
York is
go.
like,
Thank you for being such a big fan, Veronica.
you know.
Okay, kids.
Okay, Amanda.
Now this
Following us
feels
for
like
ages.
Hold on,
I
hold on.
might
No,
not-
no, Wrangler.
Mhm.
That's what it was. It was Wrangler jeans. I just thought,
I hope
Sam,
you
wear
enjoyed that.
Wrangler.
Hey, Kyle.
And then I wore them for as long as I was like, well, you know.
It's Kyle.
Silver or black?
Oh, I'm so horrible with them trying to get. Okay.
Guys and gals, thanks so much for joining. I hope you
Love
guys
you,
see
Kyle.
the True Blood. Yeah, I just got a thumbs up. from
This is
somebody.
great.
I have not rewatched the shows.
hope
If
you
you want
guys-
to take those, you can go and buy one on Streamily right now, and I'll do it for you.
And I'm going to do some more.
Yes, I do speak to Skarsgård. He's
Never
living
died.
Very
in.
upset
I
because
just
Kyle
want
says
to-
hi.
And,
email and text, and
I love all you all so much. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
And hello, Elena.
I get my smile from my mom.
I think I
and
should have talked
Rebecca.
about it a little bit. Hi, Common.
Who else? I am
Silver or black?
Lona.
Black, silver, right? Common?
Thanks so much.
Okay.
And I will do it again.
I think it's $80, but you'd have to go to. The
Everybody.
link is in my previous
Okay.
so
um,
cool.
They look so
thing,
cool. And
and
this
if you
is
go
all I'm gonna live
to
for this
the
event.
Streamily in my
So-
previous
And
post,
they made
Time
things.
that-
I
and
know.
I think we
I
might
want
buy
y'all
one
to sign one
just
for
on
me.
streamily.com for me.
So this one is to Vanessa.
Best player in Premier League this season.
Where's-
Salah's got to be up there
Where's
Things.
Vanessa? Vanessa.
because
I
I love.
think we need a True Blood reboot too. Everybody keeps
I
saying
do too.
reboot,
I know.
reboot it. I'm too old. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Age the dead.
It's like the Terra aged 50 years. Like we're not gonna do. We're not gonna we'll see that.
I know you're a vampire like me.
I know. Well, you remember that's what Alan said. Remember when Alan was like, "We can't go on too long because vampires aren't supposed to age. So we're gonna have to eventually. Like you can't just keep going." Dude, he actually said that on an interview. He was like, "Yeah."
Luckily, Ginger as a human can keep going.
Yeah, that's
she
true.
just get old
She
and
can
craggly.
just-
And
that's true.
Like, you know,
That's
all right,
true.
so now
She
takes over the bar and I went in.
That's true. That's true.
You're awesome too, Carmen. Thank you.
Matthew.
I did.
I do too.
Bethany and I go back a little bit, and so I've known her for like 25 years.
Y'all hear me? I was like,
So,
my chips.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
yeah,
Colombia.
doing that. We nearly worked together again on
Colombia.
a show that I was
Hola,
producing.
Colombia.
Oh, I love you too. I love all of you guys.
6 years I was
No,
working.
no CGI. We're doing the CGI. Get out of here.
But these things happen, and it appeared like around December 22.
I'm over here by my
this
still
year,
demonstration.
and it was
I'm
tough because it was
share on, nigga. You didn't even share.
I do need to come to I do, and I will. The audition process was pretty cool. Yes, we did film in Dallas.
If it's just, I mean, chips is.
Yeah, I'd love to do a movie if there was. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay, great.
Yes, I've been in Romania. I did a show with. I did a movie with Keira Knightley in Romania in 1999.
Signed, right?
And
or this.
she was 15 and I was 30.
I'm back. Okay, thank you.
Oh, Miss Jeanette.
My
All right, then
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
entirely died.
Aisha Hines, who's amazing.
So good.
Vanessa, we're signing your poster right now.
Yes, we're
Wherever you
signing.
are
Oh,
now.
Colombia's back.
We're doing our big poster that has everyone on it. And we haven't mentioned Dennis yet today, who of
I
course
really want to go to
is
Argentina.
part
I've
of
never
this
been,
thing,
but
but
I
is
am
on Broadway
I
being
really,
spectacular.
want to
So
go.
he's not here today.
Hi, Poland.
Dennis O'Hare. Another one of the greatest actors I've ever worked
This is
with.
Vanessa from all of us.
Thank you, Nina.
Girls.
That's
So
amazing news.
excited.
I agree. It is the best show.
Deranged
Best
and
being
All right, one down. We did one.
This is to Donna and Tiki.
I get it.
You did one. Amazing.
I get it, y'all. Times are tough right now. But I appreciate y'all being on
Keep
my
working on
mind.
this, but it's just amazing.
Okay, this is for Matthew Long.
Donna.
And this
Hello,
is
hi from Chile. I love
I know it.
Oh my gosh, so I
Hey, Nashville.
went to
Love
I
you.
studied Chile when I was
You mentioned
middle school.
love you.
Eighth
Thank
grade.
you.
I
Well,
went
I'm
to
gonna do that again.
school there for
I
a month.
love
So
it.
weird. You know,
I haven't eaten yet, but I'm about to eat some chips.
Right, things like if I ever get famous, if I ever get to do something like this, I'm gonna like.
What's up,
Oh my gosh,
Alabama?
so many people. Very excited.
Yeah, Dennis
Oh,
O'Hare
that's
was
Vanessa.
Dennis O'Hare. Dennis O'Hare was definitely always
Learn to write my signature, and then you can't do it when it comes down to it.
Hey from the UK.
Okay,
You don't know if we can all get together. So yeah, so we have Urban St. Louis. I have been to St. Louis.
What's up, Nat? I see you.
I stayed overnight when I was doing Daredevil. Wanted to have my
Aussie, what's up?
I still live in LA. So I would drive across country at the beginning of every season so I can drive my dog across country. I've been in New York for 6 months.
What's up, Patrice? ATL. Matthew Law.
This is for
Um,
you. Okay, Mark.
I procrastinate a lot,
Once.
and I'm writing something at the moment.
Only for this event. Mark.
Where did I go during the break?
Do another one of these.
Get the will to do it, because sometimes you have these moments where
In fact,
it's
as we were driving over
going out
here,
your fingers and
Tina pulled up
all I
next
can
to me.
do is
And we have a little.
there's gonna be a little rubbish along the way, and then sometimes
I'll be right back.
I just
So
know
yeah,
my
those are
sharp
so I've enormous done
Um,
have experience like that. So if you look at my name,
Okay, so Mark.
Okay,
you gotta be careful.
So last week
Oh, yeah.
I did a God of War signing.
It's Juice's.
It's a
I,
Juice's signature.
Juicy
did the
signature.
performance.
This is to Matthew Long. Got you.
So that incredible. Okay, so
Mark,
Mark,
That amazing cast.
legitimate YouTube.
Suddenly
Nobody
This
saying your
week
name
it's
right. Are you
True
on
Love,
there?
which is very
Hi,
cool.
thank you.
Love
From the
Lovely.
Canary Islands.
Hello.
From the Canary Islands.
I put the lid on and put it upside down. Thank you.
This is for Matthew Long. Thank you, Matthew.
We love you.
So
Um,
I keep getting a request to.
But
anyway.
Did you lose?
Okay, so Mark.
My favorite season
Yeah,
was
I feel like I've come across you as well along the way. Is that right?
Stacy.
So yeah,
Maybe
you
season
questions
one.
while we're going
Season one
through here.
is.
I'm working on now. I've got a couple of films that I'm working on.
I also love
And,
Scott.
Just getting
Yeah,
into God
what is
Side.
it?
It's very cool. Yeah,
I don't know many characters until
Coming out
they
on
die 3 times.
January.
Yeah, there you are.
Oh, guys. It's a
It's a lot of fun. Ray Winston and Kingsley and Ian Shane in 2000. And we're doing I recommend it. Hi, I love Positano. Heather and I went to Positano for our honeymoon. Is Cindy Lee. Hi, Dallas.
And then
What's on for Mark?
What's happening in 2025? Why did you say 2025? The name of the show is Sexy Beast, and then I'm in a show called Embeth with Carrie Preston.
Oh, another okay, yes.
Where'd it go? That's Veronica, isn't it?
I don't know.
Hey, Veronica. How are you?
Hi,
Hi, Cindy Lou.
I know.
Okay.
How many lives do I have?
Mark Coleman. Thank you so much.
And
Mark.
I
was
share this with
Hi.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I
Rose,
having an amazing time. Hi, Valerie.
Season 8.
Okay, this is
We're done.
Markers can get some juicy.
Eres hermosa. I love ginger.
Who am I doing now?
Oh,
What was your reaction to shock when Jessica found out the
you.
fair?
Lou,
That was scary, but that's
we're doing silver again, but I just want you guys to see. I might run out in a sec. If I can find it. Whichever one that I might be able to.
Okay, I'm
This one and Emily, Dennis Harris on stage on Broadway. So he will be
working with him
starting
was I work with my
Right.
brother.
We have
Like,
Deborah
Best
Johnson.
we love those
So
guys. So
Emily,
we really are
got
together.
to jump
we have
into the
Sarah
show.
So we need
Yeah, you
to
lost
She's such a great
We're
actor
into
and
a show, having some love
person.
that
So
I
I enjoyed
and already.
Tomorrow Black is
doing
Ginger.
these stories with her.
And
And he's
so we've got White
Who
as
would it be?
and we're only
You know how people get those
I'm
on
gonna run out and just
Oh,
if I can get a silver pen, I'll be
You
right
could do like this and
That
it's giving
one is
me.
Stop writing for a second because I can't keep up.
Literally
with
just
to
sit
get
around
that is
so
here at this moment.
over
It's my prison
And
tattoo.
I'm gonna be
For
sending
Emily.
other
Okay,
photos coming up.
Oh, just have a zippy marker.
Oh yeah, like the conventions and coming back on. I love.
I love
I know, I kind of was like,
Sometimes
okay,
I went to conventions. I don't know.
Oh,
Security.
Amanda,
So I
hi.
this is
for you.
careful of
Love
what
exciting
juicy.
When I see you, I see
So yeah, sometimes we'll have some
New
Jersey
Jersey.
depends how it's better.
Yep.
But now we have a photo for Emily. Thank you so much.
Thank
Emily.
you,
I
everyone.
really appreciate you.
See it, Emily,
grabbing
down
this
there.
photo. It's
Thank
amazing.
you. Yes, The Last of Us.
We've got all the
I can't wait. It's like, it's so good. Oh my God, that show is so good.
Yeah,
So
that's
good. Hi from Hi to Romania. Wow,
I want
Romania's
one.
on here.
But you're in
Awesome.
Colombia. That's okay. You can still purchase one and we'll send it to you in Colombia. You have to go onto the Streamily site, go onto my site.
What's up, Emily? Brazil. We have so many Trupa fans
in my
in Brazil.
bio,
It must have
bio.
really hit at the right time.
Oh, Emily, that was yours. And
And we'll find right now.
Someone asked if I would play Kay, of course. And I actually would. Obviously, I got touched to them.
And then make it out to wild.
This is Amanda. This is Amanda. Show a little love to Amanda.
And it's
PDX.
I
These are
would love
for
to talk to you guys
pre-sign?
more about how they're coming through here for our Dan.
I love you and your favorite car character.
Thank you, Amanda.
So we're getting ready to
Appreciate
start
it.
signing other
Found two.
You guys meet up like this a
Then-
lot.
We all next big lesbian series.
Some of us
This
are
door
habit.
down.
Some of us see each other
I know that they're
around.
gonna be there because they've been in my.
There's a smudge here.
Oh, you need the room. You're good.
Avoid
Okay.
smudging. And you love here.
I have been England. I love England. Specifically London.
And Ireland.
Seeing lots of shows there. There's a school over there, actually. London.
Cindy Lou.
So I many years ago. done
Gabby
this.
and Ben.
That's in Grantham, England. I think it
You're
is.
Banjo
So that was
is
fun.
getting old.
Yeah.
It's not a big
But
role.
Banjo's like,
Thank you.
14.
I love theater. I can't please. Somebody give me a play.
Somebody
give me a
I
play.
love
So that would be fun.
Totally.
theater. That's why I do.
I mean, it's really awesome. I mean, I
You know what? This is
Yeah.
What's up, Patty?
And I'm gonna be testing my
Okay.
all of the.
We have alternatives.
Let's see. Let's test this then.
from Jordan from
Australia.
So sweet. Would you play Jessica again?
He is very handsome, isn't
I
he?
mean, this is always an interesting question because on the one hand, yes,
Are
absolutely.
you guys all done with those?
Yes,
Sorry.
these are them. Now these give us some.
All right.
Some
See.
juicy.
Also,
Big
so-
fair amount of smudge. So
I
just.
appreciate that.
Well, you will be the first to know if I'm in the play. I will let
I've
you
been a fan of Clueless.
come and see me.
Wonderful.
Okay. I'm not doing my job. I'm talking to you.
Really?
I'm so sorry.
I
So
gave
yes,
him
so
my
on the
brow.
one hand, absolutely.
I like
brushed my
Terra
hair
Vampire
on
and
the
Terra as a
series.
human. I can go.
I know.
So
You're in love with him.
he so
you
much.
know,
I feel like you want to
Oh, there he is, choking in the back.
Photos, I think.
But
But that Lynn was awesome.
I love my phone's
Um,
my
it was totally cool.
experience
Yeah.
because
Did I have a crush on her?
writing was
Maybe
great.
it's like-
As Regina, no. Tara did.
And
But that was
Okay,
a lot of
Georgia.
to work with.
Thank you so
The
much.
experience was good.
Aw, Tristan is saying great that you're cool.
And
Yes, I'm marking you as so sweet, my friend.
Yeah,
there's
Yeah, I'm so tired.
I will.
All right.
Yes, Anna is in bed.
Right
Very
there.
well.
After that final scene.
Yep, that's what's up. Hey, what's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Very
Very good.
I mean,
Here we go.
you know,
So I've got to
Used to it.
find.
Yes.
That was a moment.
Not possible.
I don't think anyone could ever.
Okay, so I'm so
you're
glad.
right.
Yes,
This is one of my
Yeah,
favorite.
I love
So we
the
did
radio.
some
I
great
love
stuff.
the
I love the comments on here.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth. I am a
Found,
doctor now.
um,
Not as much now.
I'm gonna start off with that and apologize.
Just the signature.
Just
signature.
mispronunciations of names. It's not a strong suit of mine, but I think Young is the first one here.
Yeah, but I saw online. Yeah. So that's cool. Okay.
Two.
Um,
I'm not sure.
Okay, Angela S. Hill, where you at?
Oh,
Are you
my
on here?
mother
Boy.
lived in
Shoot me a
Turkey
heart
for
if you're on
6
here.
months.
I'm gonna go with first of all, I like doing
Always
these
wanted to
ones
go.
with the bolts because it's
And
such a great
Love to
match
it's
for
been a
it.
minute, but I'm about to sign.
But I would say
Very hard in penmanship.
from veritable
Gabby and Ben, I've done
something
it.
of wanting a Frank Castle.
Oh.
One of my favorites, and I think it's interesting too, is Matt had a
Susanna.
really tough time, and he talked about how he
Yes,
feels.
fine.
I love. I
God,
have to run up to hug him
Kelly Kindred.
and say, "You were never."
Greetings to
Yeah,
you.
just felt like such a
Um,
statement for our show and what we were trying to
Oh,
say.
great.
So I'm gonna write
There was this
that.
amazing lady who came to see me on stage, and she had an entire quote of Bill's tattooed on her back.
No, that's just a message.
And
Okay. Great.
it's the one in I think it's episode 3, season 1, where he
Oh, this was a good one.
where he
Loved
is
this. I loved this dress. I love
Hi,
telling
Ellen.
her
I have
to-
this sequin
about
dress.
life being
This,
animated, but life is magic.
Oh,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
For Olivia.
If you do me a favor.
And
General
we're all magic, everything in the world. And so
Is another great promo photograph. Love
Oh my
this
gosh,
one so
so,
much. We're all
okay, what are we
spaced out on
say?
these crazy
Oh my gosh,
vacation
hello,
set,
of
which is so
course.
great. So this is for Adam Bach, and let's go with. I like these golds, but
Lorena would
okay, here goes. Skip the internet's an amazing thing. Oh, hi.
Hi,
Hello.
Kristen.
Oh, is that you?
She's right here.
So-
Hold on, I'm just gonna give you a little.
She's a third grade teacher. Thank you, Olivia.
Okay.
That's straight away.
That's from Columbia.
You think that it's not
Letter,
magic?
yes.
You're alive.
Hola.
Just because you understand the mechanics of
Alright,
it
I'm gonna start
doesn't
doing
make it any less of American.
Kelly. Oh, I have
Which is
this
just
right
another
back.
word.
Sorry, this
Magic.
is one of my
Isn't that
favorites
brilliant?
for obvious reasons.
I always loved that. And very lovely lady had it tattooed on her back, which was
I'm
kind
gonna
of extraordinary. that somebody would do that, and I was very.
Thank you so much, Adam. Really appreciate it. Here, let's see if there's any other questions. How do you get one? Yes, if you want to go to streamily.com/trueblood/Abraham you'll find all of our shops as well as mine. And
Susanna.
these photographs, it should come through automatically. So just right now if you're watching.
I think do you have another? This one's
Okay,
yeah, but I don't.
Chris,
Let's
you're never
party
party
Let's do
is
that.
great.
Oh,
Here's
that's amazing.
I'd like to write to my biggest fan.
Different lifetime ago.
We're gonna read
That
it
was
out.
actually my first job.
Best wishes.
And I, at the time,
Meantime, we have
So
Hayden.
lovely, Chris. I love this
Hayden
one.
can too.
Way to go.
and I was so excited to do
Okay,
this
now
job.
this one.
All right,
this is
all right,
another
all right,
right.
all
This
right,
is
all
from
right,
my
all right.
personal
All right, so-
collection. This is
Okay,
Corrupted
let's
Christian
see.
and I.
Chris.
I love that photo.
I know. I don't. Did Steve
Yeah.
take a photo?
I don't know. Let me
Okay.
I don't remember who.
I love
think
this
I'm gonna
photo.
try
And I didn't know it existed.
That photo's
Thing.
amazing.
Because it was in my own
From
personal photo album.
Vampire Tarot. Everybody
I
loves
love
Vampire
it.
Tarot.
I think I want to say
Started
it was
getting
either
bigger.
Steve or Alex.
No, you good.
Probably.
Yeah.
Should be a lot.
I think it was
Perfect.
Alex. It had to be Steve.
Okay, thank you.
Or
See, make sure this
your-
ink doesn't get all over things.
Yeah. That was a really fun day. She
And
That was a fun. Thank
That's
you.
the folder. That's the one that's working.
Vampire
Yeah,
Tarot.
this is
It's a good one.
best
Yeah.
wishes.
Susanna, it worked, and I got a little bit of a quote on there for you.
There's only two.
Oh, okay, no worries.
You can take those.
Did you have
Okay.
Okay, then.
best
Oh, never mind, I got it.
wishes
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Kyle, we're gonna try that again.
From
Can you put the
Coventry.
quote?
You can sign yours
You know
again.
what? It's
Oh, I
really
like
nice to be doing
Oh,
it.
you say to
Actor.
Jessica, oh, she's
Oh,
a
you're
gingerbread. Right? You're like, wait a minute.
I'm like, I don't remember.
Uh-uh.
Gingerbread.
They're
You say
amazing.
to Jessica in
There we
season
go.
5,
Okay.
I'm a ginger
Another one of
as
these.
well. I've
Hi,
got to write,
Dan.
I've got to write you ginger.
Thanks for being here.
Who is that?
I just said that
Say
I
that
spoke
to
to
me.
Skarsgård
I say
about
that
2 weeks ago. He's
Oh, well,
he's
we're
in-
not there
he's
yet.
in
We're not
Sweden.
there. Remember.
Is the
Yeah.
person a ginger?
Thank you so much.
It
Yeah.
was 4:29 in New York.
Ethan's a
Oh,
ginger.
okay.
Yeah,
I
that
just
was
love
nice.
this recipe.
So
Yeah.
Ethan,
Ooh, love this
we
one.
want
Let's
Let's find this. This is bad girl Jessica.
starting now for the podcast. We're gonna
Yeah.
start.
This is kinda like
you mentioned that.
Badass tarot. This is to build.
I can see. Do we have that?
Ethan.
Okay. If you had to become a vampire, you
Okay.
use tarot as your maker. Tarot would be a great maker. Or would she be annoying? I'm not sure. This is not. This is human. But
Great.
Yeah.
Just
No worries.
Thank you for buying these pictures, guys.
Oh,
thank you so much for
Oh,
coming.
okay.
Performance.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Will do.
Yeah, it was unique.
I'm
And
learning.
it is lovely to see us all
I-
again. Me and Kristen talk a lot. Me and Sam talk a bit.
We did it.
And occasionally I have
This one. This is for Drew.
Sure. And I forgot.
Sort of
with,
better.
with,
This is for Drew.
Deb.
Sign in
Who's like my
silver.
sister.
You got it, Drew. And this is
Kind of like
so
my other daughter in a
Drew.
way.
I like this. This is very
And,
bad girl,
Oh.
naughty
We're not
Jessica.
doing
Drew.
anything.
Because
Okay,
you
I
are
should
so
like
stuck with
the
something.
silver, but I'm
Terrified.
gold.
if you want to get a signed photo, guys, on my page there is a link on my Instagram page, and there is a link on there to Streamily, where you
Thank you
click
so
and
much.
it takes you
Who's your
to my
best
store,
friend?
my
Who's like
Streamily
that?
store.
Right.
And then
Ooh.
you can click on there.
Here we go. For Olivia. Oh, this is a great photo.
Christy, that was you in Aussie.
Okay,
man.
so now Amanda.
I never think
You're watching and working at the same time. Amazing. Ultraviolet.
Hi, Deborah, I love
Oh my God, what a great show that was. Jack Davenport's one of my best friends.
Oh,
And,
that's so
Jack
good. Congratulations.
lives about
So happy to
This
say
may
hi. I wish
be-
I could meet you. Well, maybe someday, Olivia, if I
God.
just
This is for
get
Jeremy.
attention, please do come out and say hi.
So this may be my
Very
all
nice.
time
Very
favorite.
close. Eric is in Sweden.
Olivia.
Hi, Megan.
I remember
You know,
finding
I
one
really-
when
I answered the Skarsgård question, so yes.
Thank you so much, Olivia.
We do text, and I
This
just
is
sent me
Good
my
luck with
address.
the rest of your
Yes.
That was for King Magazine.
It's like 2 for 1.
Bad girl.
Lena,
Bad girl,
did
Jess.
you write a kindly message? Yes, I can. Lena? It's Lins.
Yeah, so on
Guessing is.
see, I don't remember if they
Guessing is.
intentionally did that. I think they did. They placed
And you can see
Hi, Brazil.
that
Hey,
is
Texas.
there in the
sequence.
background.
It's so funny to hear little snippets of what
Jeremy.
other people
Poor
say,
young
because
lady
I have no
that we
context,
drained
but it's
in the
just
limousine.
Awesome.
All right,
Here we
That's
go.
fun.
I do thank you so much.
And then this one is one of my favorites too. This is for Amy.
Just going down and
Oh,
I hear
yeah.
you
Okay,
going.
great. Now we're for
Um,
Allie.
Drained the
Um,
girls.
yeah,
I'm
Bartend.
going to school for
Did you wait?
social work and getting my minor in criminal justice.
I don't know. Do you want me to write that
I went for
That's
AD just
a very
to do
great
my
question.
First of all,
Bartend.
thank you for what you
Thank
did.
you.
This is one like
Jose,
first came out.
Eugenia.
Hard work that it took.
Jose, if you're watching, do you want me to put Eugenia on it?
One of my favorite shows.
Um,
I love that corset because I was sorry.
I like that quote you've asked me to
I'm
put in. That's good.
It's like an awesome
It'll have to be in silver for that one because
My own story that I
it's gonna look like
right, but I will say.
Does anyone else think the True Blood
So Amy,
I
soundtrack
had so much fun
playing it's a great
I was
game.
gonna say earlier one,
Gary Calamar. This dude called Gary Calamar
you know, for like.
was our music supervisor,
That's
and he
cool.
used to write the most unbelievable songs for that soundtrack. It was just the best. And
Smart.
and then when I was directing the show, me and Gary actually sort of collaborated on what we wanted each scene to feel like or sound like. Was
And also.
You got this.
Okay, and now we're gonna do a couple
But,
of, thank you, I would have loved to have gotten more of these of her origin stories.
All right. Thank you so much, Allie. Best of luck to you with your schooling. Yeah, you got this.
Quote.
All right, let's see. That one's right then. Here we go. Next on it, this is going to be
Okay, so now
Mike.
Sign
You're my
for
special
Amy.
thing banger.
Amy.
I
Someone
can't
else
wait to
with
sink
Christine.
my things into you. Lots of
Uh,
love,
Barton.
Jessica.
Yes, right here.
Thirsty
Hi.
Baker.
I
Okay, you got it. Mike, that sounds very original. This is this incredible poster. So my only story for this poster is that it was the first time it had ever happened for me. I had never been like on a poster. in a long time. I remember I was walking down Litchfield Boulevard with my family in LA, and there it was. And it was all of us up on this big poster.
My chicken scratching.
And I saw it, and I actually had that moment of like, oh my God, that's me. I'm on this show. And
Well,
I don't know, you know,
Jose wanted me to put onto his
ego
picture.
this way.
I've been around long enough to know,
Thank you
how everyone is capable.
It's
I've been
amazing.
around long enough to
I never told my
know.
I don't know. This is like the second time ever.
It's not a sound score.
In here, oh my God.
It's been a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yes. It's like one of my favorite photos. It's so.
Mike,
You too. What's up? What's up?
No, I'm actually a righty. I think the thing is switched. I
Mike.
think it's flipped. This is my right hand. You might be seeing my
Okay.
left. I'm actually a
This is
righty.
when I was really.
Or are you
extra
watching? Maybe you're watching the.
Little.
Maybe you're watching the StreamYard.
I'm not leaving. Did I have a question on Sam? Really?
So
Is it a real
this one
question?
From season
I
2.
love Sam Dremel.
My
Like,
hair
Tara had a crush
is
on
about
him,
as
far as
white
Tina and Wesley having a crush on
and,
Sam. But we were super close.
wonderful
and, like,
as
had a
you
lot of
can
fun together.
imagine. People often ask me if I was
Yeah,
wearing
no,
a
no
wig,
questions
and
there. And I would
I
tell
was
you.
not.
I would
It
tell you.
is, in
I had a
fact,
crush.
my hair.
I'm
And
trying to think,
I've
did I
been
have any
spray
crush? Let me see.
tan.
You know who I had a crush on?
Like,
Regina West.
No, you didn't. I'm blushing.
Okay. Cheryl.
Especially now that I'm watching the show.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
I'd love to be around that.
Every
Thank you for saying that.
second is fire.
I've been talking to somebody about doing some stuff.
Every single second. And it's my
It's
time
Alexander
watching
is
it.
stubborn
Oh
as
my God,
Eric.
I know her.
Alex is actually very, very, very chill.
So
And
beautiful. And like real and
pretty
centered.
relaxed dude.
this is fantastic.
I'm very excited to be sitting here.
Specifically when myself and Kristen
I'm not rushing. Not at all.
we would have a very relaxed time. It was lovely. And
Again.
He loves doing what he does though. So he when he needs to turn it on, he can really turn it on. You know,
I'm sure you
can really.
maybe once maybe you've seen it like 5, 6, 7 times. So you can tell that way.
Oh, I'm supposed to have been writing the numbers on the back of the things.
Working with each other.
Absolutely.
And
there it is. He
I
had
think,
such a specific vision.
I think that's
about
important to have that camaraderie.
So this is to Cheryl.
So
Again, I think it's going to be silver because
Every section, you know, it's different.
he would go through and
But
Got it off. All right,
I
Mike.
feel like
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're a fan.
I sat in the
and
when
that
it
you're
feels like a
fan,
family on
that's really
set,
the
like I
best
feel
thing
like
you're
you're able
able
to
to
really
they
do
got
that.
the messenger with Paul.
All right, next.
For my character.
Because you feel
Jean-Louis
comfortable, you feel safe,
Here we go. Another one of
you
those.
feel welcomed, you know, all of those things
Oh, we want that.
are needed.
I'd love to do an interview. Let's do it.
Good work, and
Reach
sometimes
out to me
unfortunately
in,
you don't have it, and you still gotta try to do good work.
thank you, Cheryl.
I mean,
Oh,
just to say
yeah.
that you can explain to me set up an interview. I saw your.
So I'm very thankful that my first
I saw
show
your
There's a link in my
magazine
bio.
was my first
Check
show.
it
If
definitely.
you click on the link, it will take you to
Back and I remember this time.
buy one of these
You just put it
pictures
on
and I
now?
sign it
Fly.
right now.
I think this
So
is-
it's very charming.
There
I
was
hope
nothing
you
that
love
Tara
it.
didn't
It's
do.
so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
So good.
Come on, y'all. We're talking.
Thank
we're
you so
talking
much.
about just take
Yeah, you can get a signed picture.
Went into the woods. Looking like
Yeah, you just have to go to my
with crazy
my
Frank
byline on my Instagram page and
you know, fighting in the cage like a UFC
For fun and
fighter.
for
That's
Okay.
how it's basically being a vampire.
It was really interesting because this one is turning
with
into
a DM border to play my
I
just got lovable
relationship. You know, my heart.
I am an Elvis fan. Grew up. My absolute
It's just like
was a huge part of me.
the first day I thought it was set.
Carmen, I think it's okay. I think you'll be all right.
I'll tell you this, my first.
I think it's good.
mindset
My family is good. Thank you for asking.
And
Are you gonna buy it?
he was
I
like,
did. I kept a lot of my wardrobe and it's all in storage.
they were like,
I
actually,
have amazing jackets.
Live vicariously.
I will go to Comic Con. I actually really enjoy it when I do.
what are you doing?
Ginger's ecstasy, ladies.
Oh my
God.
God! Get that take
It was in tears for many days after. Yeah.
Sorry.
Never ever empathize.
Yeah, everyone fights.
Yeah.
Stop him to the side.
You know, I think it's very difficult to finish a show. And
All right, now the question is, where do I
yeah,
sign?
I think the thing that they would be so tough for Bill
Not ready to be called Booker
to
yet.
carry on living knowing he was
He
making
did, and he
decisions
just kept doing it,
Thank
and
you
then
so
it
much.
was,
Hope you're
that somehow
you know, it ended up being great. Like it ended up being,
sacrifice.
okay.
Now,
You know what I mean? But like that just came from him just messing with me
Because
because I was so
So I
nervous.
saw it as a sort of romantic
Those things are like there are so many great
gesture as opposed to something
I shake you
never
up.
remember.
You know what I mean? And so
I know,
it was
it's-
kind of great. It was kind of great because it got me out of my comfort zone.
Were you happy with the direction?
Be present in the moment. But
You
I'll
happy
never
with
forget that
the-
day.
I love season 1, Bill 2.
This
Like, I wish I could go back and look at that first.
I love this. I love the mad shit. I mean, I do.
It's like
It's
you
like
know,
nuts.
it's not-
Um,
just literally, I had
Using,
you make stuff up. So he was
like
great.
Sam was saying,
Wrap out
series.
just to sort of put it all together and
Nicola.
there are elements of all of it that are just so extraordinary. It's very tough to make it like a favorite, you know.
So yeah, I'm so
I
glad.
love France. It's where I want to end up. Abby. It's where I ultimately want to end up.
I have sometimes because right now I'm
And I speak to Okay, Kelly. And my kids speak
Hi, Kristen. I don't know.
I'm
I'm gonna show
Now
you.
this, Simeon. So this is my.
And maybe doodle some shoe
This is in the first favorite pictures of my
husband's
career.
right now.
How white dress.
Okay, so
I use it a lot. It's one of my favorite like
very down to earth.
photos of this.
Oh my God, Regina, I love that picture.
This is great. Thank
Very
you.
good.
How much fun you're
I'm
having.
having fun. I'm dancing. Like it's you know.
Thank you. Intimidating.
So
I'm
good.
so sad it's been over for so long too, Kelly.
Yeah.
Thank you for wishing me continued success. fans, please watch Sexy Beast when it comes out in January.
So I should probably
What did you want to say?
No.
Yeah.
let me see if
Oh
I
wait, hold on.
I think Joy.
To celebrate the end of the series, I think we went on vacation for the first time. Went to Singapore,
Everything's
and then on to New Zealand. I want to say that I was there for the Singapore Grand Prix. I'm a massive
myself.
so we went away.
Apparently, I was just told that I'm like a really fast writer.
Disney Grand Prix, stopped there for a week, and we just stopped. And then we went to see the family in New Zealand. It was lovely in New Zealand.
Take me back.
This is Winnie, hi.
About to be 45, y'all. 45.
I was just there like
Literally 45.
Lincoln and Nick.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody yesterday.
there are two of those scenes.
Filmed 4 episodes. So I'm so
two different
excited.
flashbacks. There was like
Check it out.
the 2000 flashback. The 1996 is when Ginger first comes,
Here's number 19.
right?
So yeah, so
And ask for a job.
Can you just
and
draw
he's-
something
I don't
cute?
have family art for the
I'm
job.
not much of an artist.
And then, I think in 2000, I'm pretty sure that's so like 4 years
Just
later.
draw something.
He's been on here.
Been working there. And remember,
Okay,
she finds
Sexy Beast is about East End of London in the 90s.
Should I draw me?
and
It's
she
about
tries
two
to
guys
get in
who
and
are to do a big job by somebody who is something that they've never done before. They've been doing like small jobs,
This way.
and then somebody
Big.
gets them to sort of level up. So they start doing like bank-based and a slightly bigger stakes.
Because when
And it's based on a movie from 2000, great Jonathan Glazer movie.
I know. I was.
And Jonathan Glazer did Under the Skin. He's got a massive new international zone of interest. He's extraordinary
We know that those are the house shoes.
filmmaker and film set in 2000. So the prequel, where I play the Ian McShane character, and James McArdle plays the Ray Winston character, and
Yes.
a wonderful actor
Okay,
Ian
yes, yes.
plays the
love it, are you kidding?
Ben Kingsley character, and
Think about actors.
it's a lot of fun. Jan 25th on Paramount.
Don't hold back. Exactly what? Excuse me.
Thank you, Chloe.
What's up? What's up?
No
Yes,
content is
Las
accepted.
Vegas
Thank you.
Academy, my alma mater.
Hi, Duda Beat.
I love that school. That's
Thanks for
cool.
being here.
Let's go. Let's
Do
go.
this thing.
Aces. The Aces. No, it's not the Aces.
I'm
That
going to
one.
be going back there to promote Sexy Beast, which is really lovely because my family are there. Yes, the author did visit set. Darlene came a few times actually. She's
You can buy
she's
posters.
too.
It's
Had a
online.
lot of fun
Link,
with
link
that.
is in my bio.
I didn't have all as
this
catchy
picture
quotes as like Kristen did.
Yeah.
I did. I took my
It's
fame.
really nice. It's good music scene.
By the way,
The music
I
scene
have
was
my
amazing in the 90s. How has
Jessica.
my day been? It's been fine. I woke up and went and played.
That's why I have like my chair back. It's just
My
like
team were playing today. West Ham was
chair
playing
that had
today.
my
They were playing
name on
against a
it.
team called Fulham.
Yeah.
And if there's any gifted fans out there, Sean Teal
This is actually probably
was in.
What's up, Evil? I miss y'all down there, the Aces. The Aces. There it is. Evil. University of Evansville, Indiana.
And he was at the game and he was texting me every time Fulham scored. They killed us. And I got so upset by
thank you.
by half time that I went
He's
and with some friends because I had to get away.
And I miss you.
And they ended up winning the night 5-0.
Heidi is on here, guys.
We do not have.
Everybody say hi to Heidi. Hi, girl.
Heidi.
So yeah,
So
Heidi was
that's
doing
Heidi.
university and
I just got to
She's
see
amazing.
her.
Hi, Heidi.
Great
so
moment.
We're all very excited, obviously.
I haven't
Thank you.
watched
I like
it.
your watching.
I watched it when it was
Yeah.
out, and then I started. We
have a pretty
watching
good
the podcast.
In case anyone else is wondering,
Heidi and I-
Heidi is our
This is going to be a 200
double, and she's
Such a rock star.
rock
I
star.
do still
She's
keep in
amazing.
touch with the
I
I'm gonna see her next week. She's coming to my
Okay,
wedding.
Silver update. Silver's actually working a little bit better now.
Everybody
So
all of Anna.
45 right now.
I know I'm random.
Carrie.
Thank you.
See if you could say Carrie, like you said, Suki. That would be killer too. Carrie, are you watching?
I don't think Terry can help us.
Suki is in bed. She's not doing very well.
Thank you for always.
She's like a few rooms that way. Hi from Turkey. Hi. I play piano. Look.
Loving this one.
Okay, party. Thank you. Thank you for the happy early birthday. Oh, I love The Last of Us. That series is
There was
so
a
bad.
trigger that night, and it was the first time I ever worked with and where there was a specific, I remember who,
I added it. It wasn't in the script. I added because I'd heard it when I was doing research. I would love for you to come
body disintegrated.
Dungeon Master. We know a lot
Rigging
about
them up with blood coming out everywhere.
I'm sorry, I'm not listening.
and
I just called her Ginger, but Sarah, it's like a blood shooting out. I think I want that picture of you on the casket, and I think I want.
Carrie.
Like when you were screaming. Oh my god! Because wasn't it moving too? Yeah, I remember that.
Ted looked like teal.
Carrie, if you're watching, I'm gonna say Carrie like Suki. Carrie, there you are, Magic GBE. Hi, darling. Carrie.
Oh, so you got her under there, and you're like, oh,
There's something about the Suki that gets me.
Yeah, Dungeon Master. I do
go.
And you're just all of the Dungeon Masters.
Suki.
Okay, so I'm signing Ted's one. I'm doing a little.
This is the one Regina was just talking about.
I don't know, something French.
Carrie, away, Carrie.
Yes, I love that one. I'm gonna buy one and have it in my house. It's sad. It's classic. It's gold.
So joyful.
That's your one, Carrie.
This, this definitely was
It was
My most memorable moment.
I'm sorry.
It's so fun just sitting here with everybody. Honestly.
I'm 54.
Stylish.
Me like Prince Vincent. Do you mean Prince Valiant?
I'm now signing some super.
Adina and that song.
I might.
Can I play something for you? Oh my god.
Have any?
Everything like said goodbye to me and I burned them to the dust. Like, I think
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Ted. I appreciate it.
My one
Here.
Always comes with the price.
All right.
that was my last like date on the show. Period.
I'm gonna go back and do this one in gold.
So like after we wrapped and stuff, then say goodbye.
Your head got over there. Yes. Okay.
Jason.
I really got on hugged me.
Chris?
For those of you who are just joining, guys, we're signing
Thanks for
photos.
And he's so shy.
Love
Much more.
I'll grab
You
that
know
picture.
what I mean? So, but I definitely remember that.
Do you have a free photo?
So it was.
Oh, I just missed that sweet, with hot.
And I remember I was
This
gonna
holiday
miss it. I was like, I'm
season.
gonna miss this show.
And your family, and you need to get them
There
something.
you go.
Sure, I'm late at night.
I'm having a real freaky person in your life, but I just heard Mariana and I went for get this to them.
Yeah, and you said another day where Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, peace on
Got it? Okay, yeah.
Summed up.
That was our live.
All right.
What we were trying to say was
Amazing.
like doing action scenes.
Go
I love it. I'm a very
I mean, I see.
I always feel a little
Yeah,
sad
yeah,
when I don't
across
get
the
the
balance.
I really enjoy it, which is why escape room
Yeah.
is really fun for me to be
Because
able
Sandy's
to
one
do
of
all
the
the
biggest
things
fans,
to
Blood
find
and
through
Pam
that,
fans,
you know,
same
space.
right now.
Hey, Sally.
Harry. Okay, next one.
Dear
Dominic.
We are pouring our heart into that.
Hey, Dominic.
I just
Yeah,
heard Marianne say it, but it's true.
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't said
big
this
shout
at
out
all.
to the podcast.
Just so you guys are just joining right now and want something signed, anything from mine you can go, any of photos, including the rip shot of everybody today. You can go to my link in bio and
I mean,
there's a
vampires don't
direct
age,
link
so like,
right
you
there.
have to show at some point,
There's
'cause y'all can't
also you can
we can't be
yeah,
standing
the group
vampires
chats
and we're
are
like
also there. Otherwise, you can go to Streamily.
not possible.
Remember, Dominic is
Thank you so much, Steve.
Go to Kristen.
Oh, yeah.
She has it.
All right.
yeah. Well, it needs to be a public. Oh no, you're screening it. That's gonna. I'm gonna really regret it.
Yeah.
Did you
could write something like that.
DM around. Are you
Hi, all the
Ireland? Are you
Angeline?
Say hi, Georgia.
Oh, there it is. My name is pronounced Angela. My mum wanted me to be different.
Do I need to put that on there?
But there was me trying to pronounce it properly. And
I'll just sign some others right now.
Yeah.
Show you what I'm signing.
this bell sitting deviously.
And he's printing the one for Ireland. So sorry,
Yeah. Ilona.
but it's coming.
Angela.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna just keep going.
Oh,
I made an error.
Do you have a-
Oh my God, that
Thank
was
you
quick.
so much, Steve. Oh, I'm
You're
getting low on
amazing.
my battery again. I better-
Thank you, Campbell.
Getting low on battery. Thank you,
Anybody
Steve.
like as little kid be like, I got an alley, I got
Look
a
at this. I mean, we just went to
Anybody
I've got quite a few here still to go, so I gotta step up the
Yes.
pace
I'm
here.
telling you, the organization.
Okay, here we go.
I keep saying that.
This one's kind of a cool one.
Let me show this.
So,
There. I
do
love
you
your
have
page.
any orb
Okay.
fans out
Still
there?
doing you one time.
That will always be one of my favorites.
I was
I'm
like,
not
I-
Orville
fans, anyone?
If any of you are
Hey,
The
This is
grill.
Ian's mom. I'm sitting
Sci-fi.
Tiffany Tiff. Are you out there, Tiff?
There's lots and lots of TV shows
whole
out there
site
for
anyway.
me, so
Oh,
please
right,
go search
right,
it out.
right.
I
Okay,
actually
show
have
us
some-
the
I had
Superman
such
and
an amazing time.
I read Mariana.
Big time. I love it actually.
I had a friend
Today from Australia.
running
A lot of people say to me, "Are you from Australia?" And I think it's because I've been in America so long that I sort of feel this little sort of like slight
Ireland.
I want to go in almost a month.
slight sort of
Alright,
spin
so
to it,
I'm
where
missing
it's like a cross between American and English or something like that.
Head, neck,
Tiffany.
here.
and
So
then
all I
I
can hear is
created
Kristen
a
Bauer
version
talking
of
Oh,
about
my love, are you out there?
pictures, and they're all this one's
And then
about
when I
sticking
think
your
about
hand up your ass using like a puppet
Who was
or
the most
something.
intimidating
This
actor
is,
to be on set?
Somebody who's been a fan for years and years and years. And has
Right.
a good love too.
Say thanks
A
for the
really
deed.
good human who I speak to occasionally. Okay. So you're not.
No, Minnie might be a Dina because she was not playing the role. She was so like authentic in. I remember she put like baby out powder under her arms because in the South when it gets hot,
The makeup team is
baby powder.
Liz.
So she like
I don't think
was
they're
really in, and I remember
just
just being like just like
Happy to get
nervous
it
and terrified. to-
Please don't sign
like,
for
being
her.
so
I just, it was like
Okay,
one of those
got it. I
years
will
where
make
I just
sure
felt like
I'm
such a
not signing
nerd.
for those.
I
I would
Yeah.
never. I'm
Yeah,
very.
yeah.
I have that same
And I
thing. I
think
know
I
some
was
people just sign
intimidated by
anywhere,
Anna first.
but I have that
Because
weird
I didn't know her.
visual brain where I'm like, no,
I
let's
just
just
knew
be in
of
the
her.
open space.
And so it took me a while to sort of relax and just be cool, you know.
Everybody here.
She was very welcoming, like I said.
We'll sign it. We'll sign it right now to
Made it
you.
easy for
I'm
me
gonna
to
post
just-
probably
number on
tomorrow
the
as well. somebody painted
And we became very
a
close. So
like a fan picture
nice
and
too.
sent it to me.
There we go. Thank you
And
so much,
it's-
Liz. Really
so we'll be
appreciate
here for a
it.
little
Feels
bit.
very
We got
sci-fi.
Stephen
They
here.
like
I
created
don't know. I hadn't realized you'd gone away.
Okay, now
and
for
I love
Scooter.
it.
Love the name.
And we are signing live.
Here we go. It's
I live in Brazil.
Jessica ones
Right
from the
now.
post.
Anybody ever seen that movie?
Here we go.
And everyone's
I Am Cuba.
If you guys want some of these,
Emmy pie. Emmy
Go
pie.
ahead.
Oh yes, those
You love
posters are
one.
amazing. Okay, so
Oh, sorry. Emmy pie cookies.
Very first time that a camera ever went.
It's
on
created.
the also posters. I have
Right now, like
posters.
Jump off of
There's
a
some stuff from Queen Sugar. I also have stuff from Campbell's. I have some like pictures of the tiger and Dollarhide.
and then submerges it into the water and comes out with the
There.
water. And it's the first time that she ever had a documentary made in 1958. Unbelievable. Hannah, my birthday's coming and I just celebrated.
You guys
So
are
nice,
hanging out
babe.
here. You guys are
You
nice.
do that over and over and over again.
It's hard to do both
Hannah,
at the same time.
if you're there,
I want to play
Classic all the time. I lost my voice. I didn't.
I will number the first few times. Don't worry, it'll all get done. I just am not going to do it now while we're here.
Oh, another Robert here. Okay, let's do another one.
Skinny Mini, go to my Instagram and there is a link
You know what I mean? We got to
there.
really be fantastic and
Streamily,
like
and you click it, it'll take you to
big
the
and
page.
we got to do all the things, and that's what I
And you'll be
really
able to
Thank you.
loved about it.
Yes.
Thank you so much again, Robert. Really appreciate it.
Dear.
You're number
Love
one.
it.
I know.
You're a return customer already. Love to
Let's
see
see what
it.
else.
Another Robert. Oh my goodness, he's getting all the pictures. Here we go.
You want all the
But yes,
pictures.
thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice.
I know that's
Okay,
right.
here we go.
Completely.
So for Robert.
Don't feel silly.
Yeah, having the opportunity to play Ginger was a dream.
Let's see.
And something else. And probably something I'll never do.
Ask me more questions, y'all. You know I never lie.
Poster.
Now's your
Oh,
chance.
that's
Now's
right.
your chance. You got
Yes,
you got
slower
my full
here.
attention.
Yes.
Tina,
Short, isn't it?
true, ask questions.
Good. All right, now for Lisa, if you could please sign in red in the upper left. Could you
Yeah.
short quote? I want to do
Could
that.
you put Vampire Bill on it?
She said, thanks so much, virtual hugs. I don't have
If I
red.
can fit it
I'm
in,
gonna
I
do
will.
that upper corner. I'm gonna do it in the black. I think that's the safest color. You can be able to see it.
Okay, now
It's all gonna be good. I'm happy to write. I want to do bad things. That is.
Anybody got y'all got no more
We need
questions?
a quote from the show. For
I know
sure.
more
All right,
questions.
so-
This is the parade.
The video store scene was absolutely
Two.
hysterical. Thank you. That was so fun.
Again,
Again, shout out to the incredible
Hi, Tommy.
props
two.
and
Sequin
set designers and costume designer. Everything was so perfect.
Definitely.
And we came in and
Jessica's
we were just giggling and laughing.
I tell you what, just for simplicity's sake,
Probably not
It was just
much.
amazing. Like,
Jessica.
Yeah.
the creativity.
Hi,
was
to
so
New
Thank you so
Zealand.
much, Lisa.
And
Appreciate it.
love.
Santos 31.
Virtual hugs in
Hello.
return.
Mark
complete.
for.
Okay. Here.
Here it
Cool.
is.
So many hugs. Relics and rarities. Yes, thank you, Sean. That was a Dungeon and Dragon show that I created. I wrote it. I
Don't
ran
forget,
it. I
guys,
produced
while
it.
we're here,
I'm enormously proud of it.
that
It's very
this
consumable. You can find it on YouTube
is
if you just
still
search Relics and
available.
Rarities. There are
Signed
6
today
2-hour
only.
episodes with
Well,
incredible guest stars.
okay, who's next?
it's
You
gonna
can
be
ask
I didn't put judging for blood until the
Yeah.
pandemic, so I missed all of it.
Charlie
But
But
Cox.
that's great that you got to watch it.
it'll
We
be
had
in our
Simone
stores.
Missick. We had Kevin
I mean,
Smith.
Katie,
Incredible
thanks for
guests.
The blood, so,
In fact,
Feel
my
I
bad.
now I feel like I
There was this guy called Serge, who was on the first few seasons, he was our pop master, and he knew that I had to, he knew that I had to
Coffee for the first time last night.
all this stuff,
This guy.
and
You mean
so he tried to make it
Like,
so
Sorry, guys.
strain,
That was X.
and watching, strain like pomegranate,
definitely one of
and then raspberry juice, and he would do it by hand, and because it's all about viscosity, and he wanted it to be authentic, and he did so many experiments, and he came to
Our little
it.
chronicles going.
Actually, like
Oh, so I am. I'm working on some
Amazing. I
other.
would do that. And and
Very long.
so he-
Oh, we can see it again. We'll just watch it again.
I'm sorry your phone died. Nina.
It's coming very slowly.
It doesn't get old.
I may have some surprises coming up. I just don't know right now. You
Okay.
Get out of here.
Did I fall in love with that on set? I did. Yeah.
I will keep you all posted.
Definitely let y'all know.
Totally unavoidable.
It
How
says
much
they
you love the film? And my son was my eldest
One of my
and,
favorite people, genre.
asked me if I would come out to, he'd seen some people in Europe.
Forever. Oh wow. Not very many people have
Never
seen
played. I was a tennis player growing up, and
You found
I
it.
hadn't
Let's see.
played for a long while. I've got a really bad shoulder injury, and
Hugo Bear or something. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Trolling me.
I could play again, and I could do it, and so I play tennis every month, but
Somebody had to go.
so pickleball is a way of being able to play and run around like a lunatic, and but still do the things that I love doing.
Keep people watching and stuff. So now a lot of people are upset about it. You know what I mean? But somebody so they made that somebody.
Christy, are you there?
And I'm cool with it. I was cool with it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So definitely cool with it.
I
need
the
to
mission.
It was sad, you know, but
Hey, thank you so much, Rachel. Really appreciate it.
I was I love but
The questions coming up.
but I was like, I was
These go fast. I'm not really good. I'm not
I was
fast
cool
enough
with it.
to catch them.
I'm gonna show you
Okay.
what I'm looking for.
Come to
I mean,
Mexico.
I
I've
think
been to Mexico.
it's
Loved it.
funny,
My
okay,
brother
so I
got
was cool
married
with
in
it, right?
Ensenada,
And
so
then I
we
think
spent some time
until
there.
I watched like the final episode and
Wait,
everybody
okay.
came together.
Christopher.
I was sad.
Plays D&D and board game. Those are the people you need the good role vibes. You got it. Anything I can do for
Hi
Telegraph.
in Taiwan.
Yeah,
Vibes.
sitting on the porch was looking. Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Kenzie, if you're watching.
So the store stays open beyond today. Our
You want me
Streamily
live
store,
every evening?
However you want.
I can maybe make that happen because I never think that anybody's gonna be watching. So maybe I should be live more. So you guys think I should be live more?
Where did you go?
Always roll 20s.
Mariska. Blah, blah, vampire.
I've been in Houston, I've been in Dallas, Texas,
You know, most of them, my
Good
signature sounds
Austin.
looks.
I like
I
Austin.
mean,
Austin has some good
but
food.
that was
So,
pretty
I
good.
don't know if you've heard that.
Thanks, Kenzie.
The store will say.
It's amazing.
Kind words. 34.
I do. I wish you best of luck with all of your dice related lives. Okay, now we have this one. I think again, I'm going to make sure I write this on.
Just write down Suki with the drawing of fangs.
I think I might, would be another place to take a little,
Okay.
food
No,
break.
but
Let's do a signature on this one.
down the road.
I know another Dragon Con, right, Goldie?
Thank you, everybody,
okay,
for
well,
joining
there we go.
today.
I'm
So
gonna-
yes, I hope
I'm gonna
whoever
step
you
away
are,
for a
thank you so
second. I'm
much.
gonna leave
You're
it
number
up,
76.
just in case
Hopefully
I'm
that will come
supposed
through.
to.
Oh, that's over here.
you.
Um,
I'm gonna wave at you guys. really
Queen of
quick.
the Ring. Yes, I
No,
mentioned
a
that
reboot.
last time.
Y'all,
So
can't
this
do
is
no
this
reboot.
really
If you have
cool
any questions
upload
before I
that
go,
was last year
now
about
we're ready.
all the
Whatever
first
questions you wanna
professional
know about
female wrestlers.
Y'all killing me with it.
actors,
With the reboot.
Just a great movie. It stars Emily Beth Rickers, probably known for Arrow, but she plays for the driving force of the film, the first professional female wrestler.
I have these.
The rest of us are kind of on for her team, and it's just really fun. I learned how to wrestle. I learned how to dance. Again, I really
Thank
had
you.
it.
My laugh is one of my favorite things about myself. Like, I really, when I'm really laughing,
No special instructions, just wanted to
It's
say on the
like-
show.
it's
Also,
very
John
memorable.
Moran,
And
This was the
loud.
last episode again, Bonnie.
And it's funny because like sometimes
Say,
I'm
oh,
like,
want to say happy
movie
birthday.
or something, I'm laughing,
You,
like,
who
you're
you
like,
are. Reply too quickly, sorry.
Stupid lady thespian are indoors. Did you hear me, Jimmy? Did you hear me on the Kermode and Mayo show do that? It was so funny because I've met Simon a couple of times and he totally didn't remember, did he? I've got lots of memorabilia. I've got an office in California that has a few bits and pieces from
Thank you so
Bill's
much for
house.
being a fan, and
That's
I'm
lovely.
so
So he's let me
excited
take a few things
for
with me
it.
from
Well,
the
the
amazing.
campaign.
She's
I just do a lot of really cool things. I'm very
created.
Oh, there was a True Blood drink.
By the way,
Yes,
I also
Delian
wanted to take a
Delian
moment
Court.
to say
There was.
that
I think
everyone
it's on
here
sale.
I'm gonna post this so you can see everyone else on
And they
it.
made
Hey, there we go for you. Thank you so
and
much.
a double of me. And it
Hello, Spain.
and
I love
that's
it. Was in
so
Spain.
everyone.
Silver Pinch. Have a great 2024.
Sorry
All the
about
best
that.
for the new year. You got it. Happy to sign.
Cindy.
This photo.
This
This
is
is
came back to hello.
Let me see.
This is a long time ago.
Oh, thank you for the happy birthday wishes.
So Silver Pen. Have a great
No, there was no, we are
All the
not
best.
rebooting True
So I think that I have
That's me.
To
Anthony.
Hello.
Really
maybe
trashy
I need
cheetah
to
bra
hold
Oh, thank you. Yes, Queen Sugar is
have a great
wonderful. That was funny.
2024.
maybe
another
I
show
have
that
to
I
ask
love being a
You know, you
part
don't
of.
have many experiences like
What's up,
that.
Gilbert?
On shows.
if I
You don't often,
finished or
Gilbert Baker Film
have
Fest.
your
All
own-
right.
have
Bye.
dummies
just
like
just
that hanging out
the
with
rest. So let me check.
2024.
Isla and Nova are good. They're getting on my
All
last
the best for the
nerve.
new year.
Hey, Deb.
They're playing with each other.
So I got to
They
this
love each
point.
other.
Does that mean
And,
I did all the ones I need to
They're
do?
great. Nova's the sweetest thing. She like sleeps with me. She lays on my chest.
Okay.
And Ida like loves
Cindy, my
it.
handwriting is utterly dreadful, but it says,
And it's just
you
like,
think that
so
it's
Nova
not magic.
there, let her do
Okay.
it. And then Nova gets a noise.
Okay.
She don't want to, you know.
So guys
But-
and gals, I
They're super great.
I,
Right, this
I
is
did
for
silver,
Ronnie and Adina.
Let's see.
Nadina. I love that name. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, just go ahead.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
Mine are starting to.
So
Well, just the silver.
That's great. You need a vampire in your life. I like that. That is.
So just so you know, I'm
Oh.
gonna take a little food break.
It would be
I
great
bought
to get.
cakes for everyone, and one of those has my.
OG Wangster, what's up?
Okay.
I'm waiting for Bill.
Meaningful protein bar.
freezing a lot of
And,
time, but
What time is it? 2 o'clock.
That's cool.
And so guys and gals, puppies,
so much.
kittens,
Just
very good.
I love this picture of me
You
and
can
Sam.
still get a
So
You
great.
live in the US. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's fun to paddle. It's not quite as energetic as paddle.
Our store is gonna stay
Favorite
open.
memory of Nelson would be.
Oh, I can do it and then she'll do it? I thought you wanted us to do it together. That's why I had it.
No, you're good.
I had to sign another one, me and Kristen. It's just signature, right?
Which my friend John Sobel
Now we're
directed,
just
and we
over.
worked together
During
and
the
kind of
pilot,
fleshed it out and made it something
we
big.
did some
Project
improvisation actually.
Okay.
in the kitchen. He was improvise. He used to improvise a lot,
Okay. Which was
and it's
so
so
shout out Happy
being
Holidays.
and watching him and seeing
I
him
did like
create
that was awesome.
in
James
such
was
an incredible way.
that's
He
how
is
So yeah, so I
he was
I love
just an inspiration, and
John is still dear to my mind.
I
She's so talented.
adored him.
She's gone on to be right on. She's gone on to be like
Deborah
shows.
here.
And
So proud of her.
watching him improvise, I think, is one of the great acting
Write a
things I have.
vampire
some of
quote.
these questions I'm
I
not
wish you all the
answering.
best. Come to Belgium one day. I will keep my eyes out. Let's see. Okay, let's see.
I
A good
miss these
vampire
people so
quote.
much. I'm so happy to be here. And
Poor guy.
you can still get their
Yay.
autographs. The link is in my
Is
bio.
it
That's the double one for us,
fault.
Kristen.
Ooh, yeah, look at my
My
girl.
fangs
That's my
Um,
baby.
come
All right,
out.
guys. So we're gonna start wrapping up on.
Well, I'm about to wrap it up,
Ariana's
guys.
script,
I
so I'm gonna go
get
ahead and
So we're all
close.
gonna start wrapping
Say bye.
On.
And I just want to thank
Bye,
you
everybody.
Let's
Thank you
see.
so much for
showing
joining.
up.
I
I'm the
answered
blast.
that.
It was nice to see everybody.
I might need
thank
the
you.
charger
And-
back. It's
I
alright.
will grab it
You
for
can
you.
follow
So,
all these
Thank you, no
people on
worries.
Instagram
Thank you very much, guy.
and listen to the
do you mind
podcast.
saving this on
Okay.
your Instagram just for like maybe 48 hours or so,
And,
just so we can fill it?
Sure.
Just-
And then
Here we go.
The Last of Us,
Ilaria.
I'll say this.
Hi from Italy.
One of my favorite moments,
Love you,
I think, is what you
Love
asked
you.
me to tell me in The Last of Us. Addie, listen.
Go.
I trained on her. I tried to get used to her, but listen, when it was time for her to go,
Yeah, the True Blood. It was like the blood orange, right?
Can you save
to
this
do,
one?
and I'd be like, come on, I'd be like, giddy up, like, let's go.
During the show, we started dating.
And I was
Oh,
like,
thank you. The after movies, Hero is
That's
becoming
like,
really,
Maddie
really close
doesn't want to go
friend
back.
of mine.
Maddie
All
wants
right,
to go
we're
back
getting
and
there.
so hey,
Moving through here.
Staples.
No.
She doesn't want to
Okay.
be here.
Moving
Okay.
through.
Maddie was
gosh,
driving
I
me
think this
nuts.
is-
Yes, like she's super
because
sweet, but she
I
didn't want to
remember
like.
you.
The
So
ones that I've
when
been
I
signing
When it was done,
are
she
people who
was
paid for me
like,
to sign it live, and I am
Very
done. I've got a whole bunch of other ones to do,
100 people.
but
But filming that,
these people were the ones that asked me to sign live.
filming that.
Thank you so much for
Hey, hey.
getting us. Really appreciate it.
Baby, go get your food.
Like, I had a
Marcus
great time on
called
that
me
show.
your ad
I'm
when
glad I
Can't get
got
out the door, baby.
killed in your Cardinal Chronicles campaign, Team Pisces.
Bettina, you gotta come
Still
for a
think
trip
about the
Yeah,
Northumbria
it was
and play
amazing.
with you again.
Okay, so
Yes.
yes, the people that I've been
Yeah, and I
signing
think the
on
the next
live
season
stream were
is
people who paid those tiny little bit extra to see me do it live.
so I like.
I've got a whole bunch of other ones to do, but I'm going to do those tomorrow at a bit more leisurely speed. And now I've got to go and cook for my kids to feed them for the evening.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So, thank you for being. This was really fun, by the way. I really enjoyed this.
Pedro, Bella,
It's just so nice seeing you guys.
real good people there.
And
Like,
being able
good
to interact with you. I've never done Instagram Live before, and I like it.
Yeah.
Sending you much love and
I don't work in
final
England.
questions from anyone.
One day you'll
Just
see me
say
at the Globe.
Maggie says hi. You'll know what that means.
I'd love to star as like, Cleopatra or something.
These request to join
Globe
things are weird,
or
aren't they?
Imogen and Cymbeline or something. I would just love it.
Oh my god, how to use that.
Because London's like awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Marcus. Nice to hear from you again.
But
Yeah, it feels like it's not feeding anymore. So I think I'm done.
so I have a couple more. This one's for
thanks a lot.
Chanel. That's
Look forward
the one that I like.
to please watch Sexy Beast coming out
So-
January 25th, and then February 28th.
As far as I can tell,
and
yeah,
back.
I think it's
Cara Preston.
Chanel.
okay. Yeah, I'll jump over there in a minute.
And then a little film that I directed with Anna will be
Okay,
coming
we're
out
getting
at
there.
some point next
You all
year.
are hanging in with me. Thanks so much.
in
Appreciate it. Keeping me
The
company.
US and in the UK and
Yes.
probably other places too. And then I've got a couple of other things that I'm going to be shooting,
We're going along
next
here.
year.
Steven's still on there talking.
which
Chanel.
are
All
fun,
right.
and hopefully Sexy Beast gets
And then
picked up.
this is
So lots and lots of love. Thank you for being here. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm signing out.
Thank you guys so much for your support.
There you go, Tom. Yes, thank you so much. All right, so now
Appreciate
I'm going to
you.
jump over to the Stephen Moyer and Deborah ones.
Sorry, I missed this. Chanel wanted to know if you could kiss the top of the photo. Is that
Okay.
something you're comfortable doing?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's all good.
Okay.
That's all good.
Doesn't mean. Oh no, it's fine. Whatever. Okay, Chanel, I'm kissing this. Okay, this is for Chanel. She wants to kiss it.
Oh, I don't have the Stephen and Deborah ones, or the Steve's. Yeah, the.
Oh, I didn't throw those in the
Thank you
phone?
guys.
see
I'm
it.
gonna
Oh, you
get
know
out
what? I
of here.
probably
It
did.
was
I
really
probably
great
gave them to Steven.
talking to you.
Okay.
To all you guys.
Okay,
all
but he
had,
has. He's in
great
another
questions.
city. So.
Yeah, so those are going to ship them, and I'll just ship them to you to do.
Okay,
off
great.
camera. All right,
So
cool.
for those
And,
ones, I'll have to
one of my
hop on
favorite
later
places
to
on earth is-
sign the ones
is
for
Positano,
me and Stephen
Italy,
Joint,
and
because
then
he
off
has the first batch of them. They'll send them to
the
me.
food,
I'll make
so
sure you know when I can jump on and sign it for you.
But I love you guys.
And I think that's the end of it for me in terms of the today's
Until next
signings.
time,
It's such a pleasure
friends.
to see you all.
All right,
Later.
guys, signing off here.
It was such
Have
a
a good
pleasure
day.
to see everyone here.
Because you know I love my